Berste Hamid Pranoma Anoch, the Gor Ihe Ultach Dornali, Joe, Ihe the Hoyd Mark Dunlap, Hudson, Brian Moore, Hagwin East Delhi, Connor Quinn, August Chris Liddell, Cui Keen, the Brian Taha Osa Gorama, Dominic the Bomb Donegan, again CJ Taiwo, the Gown Cook Norman, John the Kid Clooney, Louis Too Sweet Norman, and Son East Delhi, Colum the Posh Boy Murphy's Joshua Campo, and Connor King Concair, and Lightning Luke Fash. Lum Mahonta, and you've not Eric Donovan, August Eric Dunham Quadro. The very quickly, Eric, a fight that's not on the card anymore that we were all looking forward to was Owen O'Neill. Triple O, he didn't make weight.
Yeah, look, very, very disappointed in that, because not only were we looking forward to it, Irish Boxing was looking forward to that fight between Declan Geraghty and Owen O'Neill. But Owen O'Neill unfortunately came in far too heavy yesterday. He was way too heavy. It was an absolute disgrace, to be honest with you.
And you mentioned a disgrace there, Eric. What's disgraceful about it? I know people around here were not happy.
Well, he came in 11 pounds over the weight. He didn't actually, there was no suggestion in the lead up to say that he was struggling with weight or that he was in a bit of trouble or whatever. And I thought he was playing his cards really close to his chest, and he was very low key. He wasn't shouting much in the lead up to the fight. And I actually thought, you know what, he's taking this very seriously. And I was really thinking that this is going to be some fight, because he's probably going to come out, because he does go under the radar anyway. You know, he's got a lot of, he's had his critics and that before. A lot of people saying like he's had no real big amateur career, but he's been pretty decent as a pro, and I was expecting this was going to be his first proper real test against Geraghty, but he turned up 11 pounds over, and to be honest with you, that's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. But I felt sorry for Deco, because Deco put in all the hard work and the sacrifice and getting the tickets sold and the sponsors and everything, and he's left without a fight, and that's the sad nature of the game. But boxing does that to us. This is why we love the sport. It's unpredictable, it's exciting, it's exhilarating, and there's still a few fights left on the card tonight that we hope deliver.
Yeah, Council Tritness on not on pre-afraid station. Connor Quinn, August Chris Liddell, and the main fight tonight, Eric. Connor Quinn, he fought and his comeback, I think, last year when you were victorious, of course, in the Europa Hotel. And again, tell us about Connor Quinn and Chris Liddell.
Listen, Connor Quinn is a great young talent, really, really great prospect. Had a very good amateur career, and Mark Dunlop really believes in him, and I know that I watched him in the Fail at that time, and he boxed absolutely fantastic. He was on the undercard of Patrick McCrory's Fail bill in Belfast a couple of months ago, and I saw the development in him and the improvement in him. He's settled down, a real pro, and he's landing really, you know, the shots. He's exciting to watch. You really enjoy watching him. But look, he has a really tough fight against Chris the Spark Liddell from Scotland, who is 5-0, he's five wins and just one defeat. 31 years of age, and he's a very mature fighter. But looking at him on the scales, he looked in great shape, and you know, he's not here to just make up the numbers. They're confident in their guy. He sold a lot. He's a lot of fans over here with him as well from Scotland. So look, it's going to be a brilliant main event.
Yeah, bhí duine go leabhart níos luatha agus Corcaiste fion gáilin agus Céntanga greibh á leabhart a gcuine. An chéad mar se, Eric, Dominic the Bomb Donegan ag gcuine CJ Tiger Wood. Dominic the Bomb Donegan, he's had lots of fights recently. What kind of fight should we expect here as the first fight?
Yeah, look, Dominic Donegan was supposed to box on the RDS Conlon boxing show a couple of weeks back, but unfortunately that show was cancelled, and Dominic was one of the fortunate lucky ones to get a slot on Mark Dunlop's Clash of the Clans card here. Dominic is exciting. He's a really, really good fighter, and he's had his fair few losses, but he's had some great wins on his card as well. But one thing about Dominic Donegan, he'll always give 100%. He's always exciting, he's always entertaining, and I was speaking to him the other day, and he just said to me, he says, Eric, because we're working on something at the moment. We're working on a project, myself and Dominic Donegan and another committee back in Cavan. Dominic's good friend Harrison Jameson passed away last year, and I know Dominic, when he steps into the ring, he always, you know, has a proud kind of a tradition or tribute to his friend, because they were very, very close friends. And it's you know, it's a very sad loss for boxing because Harrison was going to make his professional debut.
Ladies and gentlemen,
due to make his professional debut
hello,
a couple of weeks later.
On behalf
it's very, very sad loss. And
of
condolences
Mr.
to all
Martin
his
Hopp,
family
MHD
and
Promotions,
friends.
in association with Mr. Paul McLean.
Dominic Donegan is obviously on tonight,
welcome
and
to the Girdwood Sports Complex.
I hope he can get another win on his card because
being televised live tonight.
He's a decent fighter.
Tonight's boxing, ladies and gentlemen.
Kenny Farty Larkin Lauren or Ishtomit le Kenny say Corfalte Rimish na Dornal Higofoine.
Inspectors Kieran McGeary, Mr. Jim Campbell and Mr. Martin McWilliams, area representative Mr. John Gray, Stuart in charge Mr. John Williamson, doctors at ringside tonight Dr. Martin Duffy and Dr. Chris Nutt. Your referee for the contest tonight, ladies and gentlemen, from Liverpool, Mr. Ron Kearney, and your timekeeper as ever. I've just been told he's from Sunderland, actually. He's not from Liverpool. Blame the boss for that one. Yeah, he's from Sunderland anyway. Mr. Ron Kearney, ladies and gentlemen, also our timekeeper tonight, the one and only Mr. Dale Elliott. And not forgetting also tonight, as ever, our wonderful paramedics over here. Let's give them all a big round of applause. Come on. Thank you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime. We are ready for our first contest of the evening. Would you please welcome boxing night of the red corner tonight from Middlesbrough. Please welcome CJ Tiger Wood.
Siachunimach CJ Wood Marshanu Tiger Marn Las Animaha again. Kara Fred Hub Wettige Shoot Rockdown. Treat knockout. Ochkin Dag the Brinta ha kaite again shoot. Choche Brian the Sharks to rare and not the Unta ha Gwen. Bisha Brian a Corkick. On Derek Shackman Shakatags Voigan Kiroya. Mars Falvi Air Shoot Le Pointy. Now the Consmarveg Consan Aquiach again Niga trade on Tanjikate. Iran sticks a fine, Agus Shahuin in ish.
Let's give a big applause for them, come on! Thank you.
CJ
and boxing out of the blue corner tonight from Cavan. Please welcome to the ring, Dominic "The Bomb" Donegan.
Agus Shahuin Dominic "The Bomb" Donegan.
She said, oh my Johnny, don't you leave me. I'm the fight, so the rules is me.
Nay, Brian ha boite the Bomb Donegan. Quickeen ha kaita as Kelnamoin Kshiachna Mar ho score.
Yeah, so what we have here is a rematch actually between these two guys. They boxed back early on in the year. Dominic won on points. And that was over in Scotland in January. So it was over in CJ Wood's back garden, and Dominic won that fight. But it was a close fight, very, very close fight. He is a tough journeyman, Wood, and he only had a fight last Saturday as well. So he's in great shape.
From Middlesbrough.
Would that have much of an impact on him, Eric? The fact that he fought last week and fighting again this Saturday?
Well, what it will do is it'll help him in terms of activity, that he's busy and he's kept going. And I think the more fights you have, the better you can be. But it really just depends on how much that fight took out of him. He lost to Maurice Falvey in Cork last Saturday, and that was on the undercard of Tommy Hyde's show. What the fight was like, I don't know. It says he lost on points, which would suggest that maybe, like, you know, it was just a point shutout. Probably over 4 rounds as well, which wouldn't have been too taxing on the body. But it really just depends on how much damage he shipped in that fight. He looks fairly fresh, to be fair.
Keep your heads out, keep your punches up, and keep it clean. Touch gloves, come on, box on the belt. Let's go.
Shape out of the free moment the bag going in so Sevrian oil his so again Mian Miachin agus an Raitor Kintu gonna skia fiachlistig again Bector Nolly on Boma Hains na Brishti Garabana agus Tiger Woods sna Brishti Gara do Leshon Avrin or people like Chris with all the doll agus Sholin Hannafin Kimid Wood Port Harp Donegan on vertical Kuratner Hale Gadisa sheer le CJ going in the rope boy agus Dominic ha a Laura fine Bullish that's a yield near of Queen the Inev Tifier than Doran Clay Ira Sons and Verticonish Kuratner Hale agus Dominic had in the one Tridder Fad Gadisa Agus Eric both just trying to get to know each other.
Yeah, but Dominic is started off the better of the two. Even though there's no punches landing, he's took centre stage. You know, he's took real centre of the ring, and he has Wood on the back foot, and that's kind of where you want to be in the dominant position. Everything flows from there. But yeah, they're only warming into it.
Nilain Durham Kate Joe Donegan Wood Gafoil and ball of an hour to get to our cousin to Kianax Nish Donegan to our friend Corp so Kianard Stach so fuss. Ach Wood, on cousin Kamaga Disa, ha she Praber no cousin Gafoil. A stan a Stachar Sule Donegan mach Suas Shiasags Nish Donegan to fair, Dariga Wood and Buille. And we saw there the danger when he got on the offensive that Wood managed to clip him with the right hand.
Yeah, he just lunged in a little bit there, Dominic. He just needs to be just a little bit more controlled and composed with his offloads. You know, when he's throwing those punches, to just make sure that he doesn't fall in behind him.
She Donegan had in the one Tridder Fad Gadisa. Ha Wood a cousin Kama agus a chef nachtle macht in Fihun Suin or Ska. Over ní smó glúiseach a bhd inis gí slú a cheann grind more.
Yeah, nice 1-2 from Dominic Donegan there, and then he just tied up Wood as well at the end to give him no chance to retaliate.
Reach down the Hossinter Fat Shulig Wood and Dall of an hour to get taking Chen down chair.
And nice left hook, right hand, straight down the middle. This is nice boxing from Dominic.
Hasha. Smach Cartiger Horsi Gadisa Shea and Tendina ha a Cav and Durner Derek Wood Hendo a her in the show Donegan. Nish Donegan a Fnach the Toish a fight Mach der Chihun say come out Donegan Deshin so I get a fight which Chihun Turfa would need.
It was very good. Evasive skills there from Donegan, just moving off the ropes, making Wood miss, and then coming back and countering, letting Wood fall in and miss the shots. And
the violation. Oh, Donegan is a tie of Queen Keen Wood. 10 seconds though. I did it. I'm about to saw. Gus. Big Wood just off and Clog of Shine and Clog Agus Eric Donovan. A comfortable win for Donegan that round?
Yeah, definitely. It's a good opening round from Donegan. Normally it takes him a while to settle into a fight, but he's after going straight into his comfort zone there from the start. He, boxing well, letting the arms flow, and his defensive skills. I always watch out for a fighter in the first couple of rounds, just to make sure they're not shipping any punches, because you don't want to be getting caught cold. But I think his evasive skills, his defensive skills, very good. And his
he nearly got caught at one stage where close to the ropes, but he mounted. He managed to counter it very well.
Yeah. He slipped out of the way. It's good head movement, avoided the shots, and then punished Wood afterwards with his own counter punching skills. So look, great round, great start for Donegan.
Would he need to be concerned the way that Wood is fighting, in the sense that Wood isn't throwing many punches in his way, that Wood seems to be calculated, waiting to go on that counter?
He's not he's not throwing too many punches, which would suggest that, like, you wonder what he has to get. He hasn't really shown me what he has in the locker yet, but he's kind of playing it a little bit cagey. But I don't think there's too much. I don't think I've seen too much to be really concerned.
Donegan geared the rush to Halor fine and Vartin to get. As reached special Wood Handal off some Nordana or the father get. Nietzsche gear in Le Hansa Huerta Dominic the Bam Donegan. Barney I'm sure August Count Das a Horp Stachs the Sneacha. No Dominic. agus a ríis a sé tóisrúdaí inis. Is it a case now, Eric, that Dominic knows what's in front of him and he's now changed his style a little bit?
Yeah, no, he's just took the centre of the ring again, which is the the place where you want to be, and he's kind of dictating things and controlling things. And Wood just seems to come out a little bit more compact, a little bit more tighter and secure in his defence. He's the hands high, he has the elbows in, and he's kind of looking very rigid, but he doesn't look loose. So if you look at the two boxers, Wood looks very tense and rigid and tight, where Donegan looks to be relaxed and in control at the moment, and his punches seem to be flowing a lot better.
Cousin va O'Donogan dair leis cúpla doran leis an lámh clé a chafadro Wood chomach deire Wood inis a tachtamach I tríd hen dó ó Wood buile hanasige rácheann ó Donegan. Wood an na lámh á íslúige an thuirse á bhuaile trídige an taintecaite gorcaig réiteórá leis an mertacán ceannach mad an áide. Yes, our father Dominic Donegan.
Very good. Very, very good shots from Donegan there. And what was good about him was the speed. There was no telegraphing, just 1-2 quick down the middle. And Wood had no defence, and he couldn't get out of the way. Good comeback though. Good response from Wood.
On the var fad Baron Aimshe gets Nisha Shatward for Dominic Donegan. You cost the Dominic of Kuramach and so a quacht. Snalava son high Wood. Stasna snecha. Nís far o Wood. I was going to say, Eric, that Wood seems just tired. Those hands aren't up as high as they were, but then he went and he managed to hit him twice.
He did. That's the first time we saw Wood really produce something. He came out, he had to let go of an onslaught of punches there, punches and punches. He threw 2 or 3 combinations. Although Donegan was on the back foot and up against the ropes, the punches landed. They didn't really take too much of an effect out of him, though, because a lot of them were on the gloves. But, he showed us that he has definitely a bit of fight in him.
Just secondly, though, like Darren Bautas up, big Wood on the hostel, leis an Tarn the Bautas and Schlie, which are trish tachtamach. Agus she gear a creach Lloyd of a hendo tree, agus count dear a go get Dere. And that was a much closer round.
It was a very good finish to the round for Wood. Like I said, it was all Dominic Donegan there for the first 2 minutes of that round. But the last minute, Wood certainly came back into the fight, and be interesting to see, did he steal half of the round? Did he steal, did he even steal the round? You know what I mean? So
what do you think?
I would have had Dominic in a controlling lead up until that last minute, but I still would give it to Dominic, because even though the punches came
more
in
boxing
from Wood,
Dominic, more control.
Yeah, there's more evasive skills, more punches landed. He had his little burst of success there, Wood, but the punches just weren't really effective in the sense that they weren't landing on the target.
Wood looked as though he had tired. Those hands were dropping a little bit, but wherever he got that energy from. But for Dominic's done most of the boxing.
Yeah.
He'll have to be careful now that he knows the power that is in Wood's hand.
Yeah, he's boxing well, Dominic, but he needs to move and not go back in a straight line when Wood comes out with these little bursts, these little short bursts. He needs to be able to move left, move right, get out of the way, like he done in the first round when he ran Woods into the ropes. They say that the best thing to do when you have a charging opponent coming at you in boxing is not to go back in a straight line.
See about the Marsha, Dominic the Bomb, Donegan Snivristi Garabon, Nation Tayev Gurum, Oguna, CJ Tiger Wood. Aha, Snivristi Garadu, and Kuina Rolla, Donegan Kadim, Dale, Wood Rollish, come on, 10 more times, Kuina. Bit of gamesmanship going on now.
Yeah.
Wood nach sheer, Dominic Machdernunsi, Oberva, Dominic Donegan Tastien, Wood good Rayach share Nunsi.
When Dominic lets the hands go from where he's standing, he seems to be having a lot more success with it. It's when he lunges in with the punches, they're just not landing. If he just lets them flow, there's great speed in them, no telegraphing, no feinting, no shove, no lunges with the punches. Like when he just lets them go like that, he's having more success.
Eileru and Sheena, I guess, Ahmad Wood, Mader on the Harp, Ishan Doran Clay. agus Donegan gira an lavélas an chmad atar a gánaí Wood slámú chun tosig airig leis sí sin an spiuc go bhaint amach Donegan rís an lámh clé an úsáid ige mar lína cosanta sa bhóta áirithe seo agus déanamh jab má Wood a chmadhuig agus steach samach tapig ó Donegan roiiste le ha sé gira an bearna san chmad atar a jab má ha dhéanamh ige Wood in isgear towards Fagan in the rope in your host Donegan.
Needs to get off the ropes now. You can't lie on the ropes. Move left, move right.
And it looks as though Wood needs a sitting target.
Yeah, it's a good head movement there from Donegan. Just getting out of the way, you know. Every now and then Wood comes out and just tries to remind Dominic Donegan that he's in the fight, you know, but he's not really doing enough for me to warrant, you know, any success in the round when it comes to scoring the round at the end.
Joch second mar sin dullig there in Lassa. No bouta sa cheart mará. Agus in isco an slú le close. Dominic Ruiz to go side and lámh Clayson.
That left hook right hand was good from Donegan, and he's landed that a few times tonight. You know, 3 or 4 times they've landed from that combination alone, left hook right hand. But he doesn't follow it up with anything. You know, he needs to put a little bit more on it because, you know, it's there for him.
Interesting defence by Donegan in that round, Eric, in the sense that he is outreaching the left hand, that left glove to keep that distance between himself and Wood.
Yeah, he's boxing well. You know. He's boxing really well, Donegan, and to be fair to him, but Wood just not able to get past. I know what you're saying. He's not able to get past Dominic's jab, and he's not able to find the distance. Every now and then he needs to be at close quarters to let the punches go. But Dominic's movement is just proven too slippery and too difficult for him.
And Donegan, we saw him there against the ropes. Can't stay against the ropes, and he eventually started to move. Is that what you're looking for? A bit more movement from him now?
I'd like a little bit more aggression from Dominic Donegan. Like I tell you, he's landing some good shots, but he needs to like capitalise on that.
And why isn't that aggression there? Is that just half fear that Wood may?
There's possibly a little bit of that. Like you just need a little bit more of that kind of killer instinct. You know, believe in yourself, let the shots go, because when he's hitting the target, you know, these are hard shots. They're tough shots. They're going in, and there's no retaliation from Wood. So that's a clear sign that, like, you know, your opponent is not enjoying this. You know, step in. You know, step in now and try and finish him. You know, because this is the entertainment business. This is pro boxing. People want to see knockdowns. They want to see stoppages. They want, you know. So I'd like to see Dominic take a little bit more risk.
And lámh clé an úsáid Dominic in isige an jab agus Wood a bugga an spiuc I ligan deag go nach an unsaí gachra dír agus rin ag Wood agus Donegan bugga deire machs an tlí siar leis luasca psaba going in the rope inis Wood sauce leis agus spiuc éasca do Wood agus Donegan tar grind that chun stop a chuir leis sin you cost the Dominic inis tas nu a bugga.
Just when you sit on the ropes, and when you sit on the ropes and you put your hands up to your head and your elbows in and you don't do anything, you're actually inviting your opponent on. And what that's doing is that's giving him confidence. It's like a false hope. It's giving your opponent a bit of momentum, and it's giving him a window of opportunity. You don't want to be doing that. You just want to keep pushing forward. You know, the more you go back and the more you retreat in the fight as well, you're opening the door to allow your opponent in. So Dominic needs to just be more aggressive, take the initiative, be assertive, and ram those punches home. Like and here now, Dominic is just sitting on the ropes here now.
There was 7 punches he got.
Yeah. He's done well to come out of it, but like he just...
That must take its toll on the body.
It does, like, you know, but what it does as well is it gives, like as I said before, it gives your opponent a little bit of momentum. And in the boxing ring, the last thing you want to give your opponent is a little bit of hope.
Lámh clé an úsáid ag Dominic Ruiz de gír an bear nach má after a couple builis das na sneacha Dominic the Bomb Donegan. Chuig a second le dul sa bhauta sa agus an bherte trecha níos mó doran a chahabh dro chéile cos fiachar Wood a roish del in your hásta Dominic Boga. Jab beag agus ní sé deir an lámh deas ní tí sin feice róhinna gin ach a roish beag esca do Wood agus Dominic.
It was a very good backhand landed by Dominic. He was just punching, just jab, just touched the third and then landed a big backhand. But what did he do straight after? He just set back on the ropes. I'd love to see him just really go and open, like really open out, because Dominic Donegan is a fit man, you know. He's a personal trainer as well. He's always in the gym. He trains a lot of people, puts in a lot of work. So he has it, like he has the engine. So I'd like to see him just go really open up a little bit more. But he's in a commanding lead here, that's for sure.
Do you think so?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. You know, he's 4 rounds up. You know, I think Wood, if anything, probably could argue to have a share of the second round because he had a little bit, but not much more than that now. And look, Dominic's in a commanding lead now. I'd like him to just maybe put the foot on the pedal coming in here now to the 5th.
Bit more movement, lighter on the feet.
Yeah, just maybe a little bit more consistency with his attacks. His footwork is good, his hand speed is good, and all that, but just when he punches, don't take a step back. Step forward again. Keep taking Wood's space, keep taking his ground, break his heart, push him back, and kill his ambition.
The fact that they both fought in January, Eric, does that make much difference that they both know each other? Dominic knows, like you mentioned, he needs to keep going on the attack. For some reason, he's not. Would that be any of it?
Well, they obviously have a good read of each other. They know each other now, you know, and the 6-round fight that they had in January, you know, Dominic won that fight 5-1 in rounds. So, you know, he's shaping up here now at the minute to be kind of something similar to that one. But if I was Dominic now, I would try and be a little bit more spectacular than I was the last time.
Well, on come ergonismo an again about Serenos, han lava bugger, hashe ni set mer na kosa and gi him it thora. Das na ginehe oide son. Hashe prebe han na guli ni machtige. Hashe kintu gul Wood of nacht meder wig. Couple jabelle as in love place and on uside avantige as son tronon and you've reached less love clay count less love clay. Now they're giving it Doran Dassa tacht. Cléile O'Donovan, Cownell, an ishing love das. The Gusket and Doris Dahenig, Vertical Bull and Asnecha. Count Tevigil o Wood. Donegan mashes eyes, knees far, Shehan Unsiga, Verica Kainfe. Sheer Lesher Roist.
That's what I'm talking about from Donegan. He needs to now, you see, he landed those shots, come out again, more of the same. But it seems to just kind of land 3, 4, 5 shots and then takes a step back. I'd really like him to kind of capitalize on that and really believe in himself, because he has the ability, he definitely has the skills to kind of to deal with Wood. He's already shown that, but he's opening the door now again and allowing him back in.
Na bhfuil fád Wood isteach so fuss ag Donegan, and
he got caught with a big shot going. He got caught with a big shot there, and it's just because he's just taking his foot off the pedal, you know. He got caught with a big shot, hands low on the rope, and even though that Wood landed that big punch, he hasn't done anything either to capitalize on it, you know. So maybe he's tired, maybe he hasn't got the energy in the tank.
Agus Husig Donegan and Boutsa Lawn the Kyoad and Kyoadson Mihe Agsanish. Now they're in key and taking Wood go desh again. So Donegan again on the rope, you reach Kahasha Bug on the rope, knee fade, Leshnacht, so spot the Kana. And Donegan's getting tired.
He is. Donegan's getting tired, and Wood is starting to turn the screw now. He's actually getting on top in this round. You know, just momentarily for a minute I thought like he didn't have it in him, because he landed a big shot and done nothing for a few seconds, but now he's starting to march forward and he's having a go, and he's having a lot of success in this round.
Just second ago, Dylan Bouts Queen of Wood Roller smacked there and see Donegan Agira Braham Macher. Good sauce, and a great round by Wood.
It was a good round for Wood, you have to give it to him, you know. He won that round, and Dominic just took his foot off, took his eye off the ball, And this is the danger when it comes to this boxing. You take your eye off the ball, you allow...
How quickly it can change. He looked like he was controlled cruising nearly.
Yeah. Very, very easy. Very easy this fight can change because it takes one punch to change the tide in the fight, and that's what happened. Wood landed a big overhand right, and Donegan was on the ropes with his chin up, slightly up in the air, his hands were down, and it was a big punch. He took it well, but it hurt him. It was a hurtful punch, and that gave Wood the confidence to go on and win the round. But he needs a big... I'd like Dominic to finish very strong here now and not allow Wood back into this fight.
Corners 10 seconds.
And I presume avoid the ropes.
Stay away from the ropes, take the centre of the ring and keep moving left and right. Exactly, going off the ropes and out of the corners.
Bout the Derek, Marsha, Sichead Brian, Dominic the Bomb Donegan going to CJ Tiger Wood, Donegan Snabrishti, Bon Wood Snabrishti do. Dinamid na mach be Donegan hachon tosi go have pointy that. Ach, the Vuig Wood and bout the Derek August. Credin Eric Agahig, Dominic of Boga. Boga team pull and vine. Ni Felish Flacht. Sa Pashti Kena, Ni Fedle. Oh, that's Donegan. Horsha Wood sheer, ach mar Louis Eric near Yinche Irach and Derson the Hapu.
That's good shots for Donegan, yeah. Good straight shots, straight down the middle, and there you go again. Just keep up that tempo, keep up that pace.
And he's far, Dominic Donegan. Capitalising now on those chances.
Yeah, you can tell that they just had a little bit more energy about him when he came out for this last round. He's bouncing on his toes, but he doesn't want to be there. He does not want to be sitting in the pocket, allowing Wood to offload on him. Needs to keep his distance, keep that jab going, and keep his feet moving.
Going in the rope is Fiacher Wood. Oh, should have no session train all.
It's the only time Wood is having the success is when Donegan is on the ropes or when he's stopping his feet. He needs to keep moving those feet, keep moving those hands.
Asha Kulu Shiri Shoka Shailu Makasa on the Kusa for Traum. Asha Laura Foyna. At least he got back to the centre of the ring that time.
Yeah, but he's looking tired, Donegan. You know, he is looking tired. Maybe it's the pace of the fight.
And Bam Donegan, Laura Foyner, he'd love a shies ago. Ha chef fight Muininoch. Nether and Durig Wood Fay and Ish, no Makalele Dol. Derre on Trid Oide his that's so Dominic. But I guess Raw, Buile, Asachele, and Laga Wood.
Need more jabs. Donegan needs more jabs. He's trying to swinging in the backhand, but like if he can throw the jab first, he'll open up Wood with the jab because he has a good jab. Not to be underestimated, but great comeback from Wood. This is turning out to be a great finish.
On the Sheikher Fad and Vechtgun taking shit. Nachulach no mit Ledul. Ah, good asso Dominic Donegan. Dale Shas and Builison. Shahuin Marshan, Trocha second Derek. Love high threat, the Tucker threat, and he shave out the Vrian. I could Redden would good chance to get forced, he shove walking. Dominic will fight it.
Yeah, he seems tired, Dominic, now, you know, but good finish now for this last 10 seconds. To be fair to Wood, he came well back into this fight in the last couple of rounds. But
Unquote Builta Shin Credden Dominic Donegan will Buit again. Eric Donovan, I think you believe as well that Dominic
done enough. The better boxing in the fight was Dominic Donegan, but needs to do a little bit more work on his fitness, on his energy, because
footwork.
You know, yeah, like his boxing, he has the boxing skills, but you see the problem there was the fitness. Like if you in order for you to implement your skills on a consistent level, you need to have the stamina, the energy, the fitness in the tank. And he just seemed to be brilliant for 4 rounds, and the last 2 rounds he seemed to be spent. So he needs to have a look at that. Get back on working on his conditioning.
And his defence?
Conditioning and defensive. Defense, I suppose the defense is to keep moving those feet. It's when he stopped the feet and he put the hands up and by his ears, the earmuffs we call them, and he just lies on the ropes. What it does, Kuhn,
easy
is
target.
yeah, it allows, it tells your opponent, come on, have a go. And it gives them hope, it gives them ambition. You don't want to do that, it gives them momentum. But when he's up and he's boxing and he's taking the centre of the ring and he's landing the shots, he has a very good jab, good backhand. He's really good. So more of that.
The contest tonight, 56 to 59 in favour of the winner from Middlesbrough.
Agus ní raibh mar súile sin, Eric ceap mar raibh an bua ag fearr ón Cabhán ach ceap na Mulcóirí of Vollert.
Nah, I didn't agree with that now at all, to be honest with you. I thought you had I thought, look, the second round was pretty good for Wood, and then the fifth and sixth obviously were pretty good for him. I thought it was going to be maybe a 4-2, possibly a draw, probably a 3-3, but 4-2. I had 4-2 for Donegan. I thought maybe Wood could be, you know, a good result for Wood would have been maybe a draw. But look, he won it, and he won it convincingly as well, which is
those clear shots
which
to the
is
head.
surprising. Yeah, look, yeah, maybe I'm not seeing it how these judges are seeing it, but like, look, hard luck to Dominic Donegan. I feel sorry for him. I'm looking forward to meeting up with him soon as well, actually, because like I said, Donegan is a part of a committee with me and another couple of boxing people in Cavan, and we're working on a fight night that's going to be something really, really special. Harrison Jameson fight night in tribute and in honour of the great fighter that was Harrison Jameson from Cavan, and I think it's going to be a really special night, and we look forward to telling the rest of Irish boxing about this in the coming weeks.
An bhar fád chéad bríon mé an so tránón na neomh agus úna arin chun bheith mar cáint liv ná áirige Dominic Bam Donegan an tritsanna ó bhuachan. Dar aige an buáid ar CJ Targood níos luas a bhliain ach the inwood of bhuachan tránón na neomh on bríon son of bhuachan. And again, it shows you can't sit back, you have to go on the offensive.
Yeah, look, and that's the thing, you know, Dominic, like, Dom's his own worst enemy at times, you know, because he does some really good work and then he just sits back and almost enjoys it and acknowledges and celebrates it. But no, you want to keep going, you want to keep pushing that, keep turning that screw, keep putting the foot on the pedal, and take these guys out, because he's just allowing them to stay in the fight. Look, he'll have to go back to the drawing board. Like, he's a proud boxing man, Dominic Donegan, and he's boxed all over the place. He loves the game, he loves the sport, he loves a good fight. But there is some fundamental things that he needs to work on, and hopefully he does.
An chéad trid eile a bheith go gcuin mar se ná is Mark Dunlop chun Greengraft an bheith go gcuine an sa. An chéad trid eile a bheith go gcuin tusnúigh deitréis a ho na John the Kid Cooney a gcuine Louis Too Sweet Norman. John the Kid Cooney, Eric, you know him well.
Yeah, I know John Cooney well. He's a good talent, really, really good talent. I used him actually for sparring before the Ramirez fight, because Ramirez was a southpaw and there wasn't too many southpaws around for sparring, and John Cooney is a very, very good southpaw, very strong, has a good left hand on him, and this is probably his biggest test, I think, to date in his professional career, because Louis Too Sweet Norman, although he has a good few losses on his record, he also has a fair few wins. He's not the biggest puncher because he's only 2 knockouts on his card, but he has tasted victory 14 times in his career, so he knows what it's like to win. And I think he's going to put up a good fight. Well, he'll probably give John Cooney his biggest test in the professional game to date.
When you were sparring against John Cooney, what were the main strengths that he had?
Well, I tell you, he's 27 years of age, but he's very, very mature, very clever. He's got a good boxing IQ, good boxing brain. You know, he's with Stephen O'Rourke. That's the coach that he has been working under for a good few years. And Stephen O'Rourke's son is Ryan O'Rourke, and Tiernan Bradley. They were all in that club there for a while. So really good pedigree, really good boxers with good pedigree, and they were sparring each other all the time. So that would, you know, bring him on leaps and bounds. And look, he has big ambitions, John Cooney. Like, he will be expected to come through this Norman with, you know, convincingly, and to move on to bigger and better things, because he's talking about moving up the rankings and fighting for a British title somewhere in the next 12 months. So we're getting into contention anyway, an Irish or British title.
So to get himself into contention, what does he need to do? You mentioned the last fight. It's entertainment at the end of the day. So yeah, wins are important, but is there an element of you got to entertain as well?
Yeah, you do have to entertain, and to be fair, we shared an opponent, Engel Gomez, who myself and John Cooney boxed, and John Cooney knocked him out. He was the first lad to completely knock him out, and so that was a statement in itself.
That was here last year, I think, in the Girdwood, yeah.
Yes, I think it was here actually. Yes, you're right, and so he just wants to keep continuing that trend, putting away these guys, because it is the entertainment business. He's a prize fighter, and no matter what way you look at it, Lewis Norman is a journeyman, and he should be dealing with him comprehensively. And he also is going to have an eye on a big, he's going to have an eye on a big fight soon, because John Cooney and Liam Gaynor are going to fight for the BUI featherweight, Celtic featherweight title, and that's going to be on the undercard of Katie Taylor versus Chantel Cameron.
That'd be some night.
So he needs to have his full attention and focus on this fight.
So he needs a clean fight tonight.
Yeah, not take his eye off the ball, but you want to be also making sure that hopefully he doesn't get any, niggles or cuts or anything like that, but deal with this guy comprehensively and then focus his attention to the big one.
Agus bit fnach le Kenny Farity Pachta Machún agus fáilte chuirmis an Bertar nálaí go fáil ag slúáil in istígan sa Girdwood áitiúntaach an bheith feire an dornálaíach agus mit nachmór Olive Ledol agur an trid áire. So for the likes of Louis Too Sweet Norman, being a journeyman fighter, what's it like? Do we call even a journeyman? Is that disrespectful, Eric?
No, not really, because a lot of them it's business, for them, the journeymen, it's like their job, it's nature of the game, and it's par for the course. But you get some of them that don't turn out, that don't set out to be journeymen. Some of them set out to be to try and have a bit of a career out of it and try and make a livelihood out of it and try and reach their goals and targets. Like Norman went unbeaten in 11 fights. He won the English flyweight title in 2013. So he was, in my opinion, a real prospect, and set for big things. But winning 11 fights on the bounce to then losing 15 tells you that he's went from a prospect and from a guy with ambition to now just being on the road as a stepping stone for other fighters. And he's probably, I don't know what's changed there. Maybe he just felt like he didn't have it anymore. Now, one thing that stands out to me is, he won the English flyweight in 2013. So he's up a couple of weight divisions already. So that might suggest that, at this kind of weight category, it's a bit too difficult for him, and that it may prove to be a little bit more beneficial for him monetary-wise as a journeyman, as a road warrior, going on the road, helping fighters, becoming a stepping stone. And he, might make a few more bob out of that. But someone who has 14 wins, has 11 on the bounce, and someone who's won an English flyweight title is a person who knows what it's like to win, and is a person who has tasted victory. So you don't lose that either overnight.
Agus like Kenny Olive Ledol in ish. Chun fáilte chur rimis an bheirt.
Any of the viewers that are watching there as well, the crowd are starting to fill up in here, and Phil Sutcliffe and Declan Garrity just walked by us there. Obviously Declan Garrity was supposed to fight tonight against Triple O, Owen O'Neill, and unfortunately, as we told you already, that fight's not going ahead. So Deco has just taken his seat at ringside, along with Phil Sutcliffe, who is a former Irish boxing legend, multiple Irish champion, and a professional boxer himself. Had a great career, was such a strong puncher. Unfortunately, his career had to come to a close quite early on because of niggles to his hands. He was really unfortunate when he was really unfortunate with the type injuries he used to pick up with his hands. But what a fighter he was, very entertaining.
6 by 3-minute rounds. Would you please welcome to the ring tonight, from Leicestershire, Lewis Too Sweet Norman.
Shuchuin amach Marsha Louis Too Sweet Norman. Oh, Shepshed Leicester.
And ladies and gentlemen, please
Too sweet.
to the ring
He sticks
tonight,
the fine, looks an ish.
John the Kid Cooney.
Shuchuin John Cooney tachtistach. Saturday night, over John Cooney. Agus John Cooney lawn the Kyoto say tachig on foine. Wickfield Murrell de la Moor August Too Sweet Norman by the time of a Saturday night come on. August Mangamore go there. August Camera will come on the massa Cooney Hannafane.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, weighing in at 9 stone 10 pounds, boxing out of the red corner tonight. Would you please give him a big Belfast welcome? One more time, let's make him very, very welcome from Leicestershire, Lewis Too Sweet Norman. Come on!
Bullabus, the Louis Norman.
And ladies and gentlemen, weighing in at 9 stone 5 pounds, boxing out of the blue corner tonight, from Galway. Let's give it up one more time for John the Kid Cooney.
Shuffling John Cooney, and I have to say, John Cooney looks like he's tuned in and ready to go.
No, he does. He looks in great shape. And one thing about John Cooney, he always looks ripped, really ripped, and his arms and his just really, the definition of muscle definition on him is something else. But he doesn't only look good; he produces the goods as well. So, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes.
Too Sweet Norman agus na Brishti Gara Kadeshin. Da Bon Daragaha Orha Agason na Brishti Gara or Aha Air. John Cooney. John the Kid Cooney. Away low.
See, there's no title or anything on the line here as well, but John Cooney weighed in very, very close to championship, to super featherweight championship weight, like he was, I think, 1 pound over. Got caught with a big looping right hook there. You got to be careful there. Big, wild, big swinging right hook from Norman, so he's got to be careful there. But yeah, on the championship weight.
Cooney smachtiger Laura Fine agus Lapa Das Clay. Tagwal Dintige le Cluas Norman. Cooney Shasif Shear, Ashen Elu, Unsi Norman, as a Rui Stelle. He found your fifth Lewis Hannafay Nider on Brian Sauce and Brian Gareva Gwyn Rivray. Cooney, Hendo, August, Tri Homak Kena. August Norman, just a Shasif. August a Biasas the Glockelish and Builasan.
See, up onto this point now in John Cooney's career, and I know he's only had 8 fights, but like this is without a doubt, this is going to be his toughest opponent to date, and his toughest test.
He's looking comfortable so far.
He is looking good now. He got caught with a big shot there, but you see, Norman is clever. Norman is a very experienced fighter. You know, he's a very, very experienced fighter. He's been around and he's been in the ring with some really good opposition, so he knows how to handle himself. So John just needs to be just be smart and to be kind of clever and mature about this fight, because normally he's far superior to his opponents in the ring, and he just needs to settle in and warm into this fight.
Cooney tógann de chuidama agus a sé cmad barna idir hénig agus Norman seasamh siar meachtar an sínis Cooney dinmh go ma éluig nó méhes le bhautasa agus darig le Norman ceanile a Landoiler Cooney gear a Paula I'm sure agus good defence by Norman.
Very good defence, very compact, very, very controlled, and he's just relaxed. Look at him smiling. Look, that'll tell you how relaxed he is in the ring. I'd like to see John throw more jabs, just more jabs. Doesn't need to lunge in, because what's happening is when he's lunging in, he's getting caught with that big swinging right hook from Norman. Just pepper him with the jab, and when he try and force him to throw, and when he throws, try and counter punch.
Lavishius the Cooney, Darren Bauta, and cagey enough first round.
It was cagey enough. There wasn't a lot happening, you know what I mean? There wasn't very much happening in that first round.
Goodisa Norman didn't come on. Norman looked very comfortable there, sitting back, happy to let Cooney come at him. I said that long swing of a right hand going around.
Yeah, he's very experienced. I can see what he's trying to do. He's just sitting down, waiting. We call it the turtle defense. So he's in his shell, has the hands up, sitting down and waiting for John Cooney to offload, to open up, and he's trying then to counter with his big wild swinging punches, and he's landed. The very first punch of the first round was a big a swinging right hook from him, and sometimes that can be they can be the dangerous punches because they can catch you cold. So I just like John to be a little bit more tuned in, a little bit more compact, let that jab go, and try and force Norman to punch first, and then counter.
Second time, round 2.
Tarn the Bauta going and so. Agus Cooney reached Laura fine it. The gear smachtal ter chórsaí. Darig leis an buile.
That's much better than Cooney, good evasive skills there. He hit the body really well and then stepped back, and he seems to be a little bit more tuned in, a little bit more switched on. Good head movement as well. But a good area that he attacked there a minute ago was the body, and I think if he can maybe touch the body a little bit more, it might bring Norman's hands down.
Déile sé ó fiún sí Norman chomach céanna. Cooney inis. Taking check catá sa chóireamach. Tá hí áilte ar a chéile córic. Agus le hansnaige. Tá sé fós á hós. Íri brúmach caitheann gur cheart amach ar an únsaí. He's waiting, isn't he, just to pounce?
Yeah. That's good. Just throwing the left hand there and then right hook to the body. May not look to be taking too much of an effect at the minute, but the more body shots you land, you just keep you're investing in that. You're investing in the downstairs, and eventually they're going to take its toll.
Norman Foss in the hurter. Agus Cooney a year barna ige de aimsú. Ní aimsú go fáil. Ga Norman gur macht an fiún síach. Ní puinte foine fáca ige. Agus gairí leis agus roist an buile céanna son. Begar Cooney fosnú a géalú ag son. Roist deile agus a Cooney tuair chance na the Norman and so.
Yeah, it was a nice little counter uppercut. Little screw shot from Norman, but there wasn't really a whole lot in it. But so far this is a good round for Cooney. He's a bit more dominant, a bit more controlled in this round, and yeah, he's finding the target a bit more, especially the body shots.
In Chagama Elu on Duran Dassan Boutson ha sé foulim Dachora is in the in Gornali Fuin and son and Goileger Wilch and Ig Nish Dasna Snecha Beachit son Howell Goran Telebulish Dasach Wigan William Arda, O Norman, Cooney, August Norman, Nismo Dornali after Shulnishige, Tachta Joe Derry, and Turnabout it. August Cooney finished Derry, about so.
They're both talking to each other in the ring and smiling at each other as well. You can see that Norman's very experienced, very cute, trying to get under the skin of Cooney. You can see Cooney shaking the head at him.
Yeah.
But look, it was a better round for John. He seemed a lot more settled, a lot more decisive, and controlled. And yeah, good round for him.
Norman, then, you said he's smiling away. He slowed down a bit there. He wasn't throwing as many punches. Yet that right punch is still working. But we noticed from Cooney, he managed to evade one. He hit his shoulder with the other one. So good to see Cooney that he is adapting to the style of fighting that's in front of him.
Yeah, you know, as I said, that this is going to be his biggest test, and it's already proven that. Like, he's having to think about this. Like, this is not a straightforward fight for him, because Norman is providing a challenge that John hasn't had to prepare for or to deal with in his professional career to date. So, you know, this is going to be a puzzle he has to solve. But as you go along on this journey, the challenges are going to get more difficult, and that's the nature of the game. You're going to have to deal with them. So, first round he was a little bit edgy, a little bit cagey, I should say, a little bit cautious. But the second round he was much better. And let's see if he keeps going in that same pattern.
Cooney going in the rope, about to Sheila Norman. Cooney, a gear, a couple of Durran. A Chahav Joe Norman, Sagwalian of August. Now Cooney, Tarek Shias, Ishtaka Trigensa, Nadaref Shasuile Show Nunarev. Durran Clay Das Katiga. Drew Norman a Sheer.
Norman has taken the centre of the ring now, and like, look, I know he's only, look, there you go, that's a big right hand. Like, I know he's only 2 knockouts on to his name, to his record, and that would suggest that he's not a big puncher, but you still have to be very, very careful with these guys, because he only has to get lucky one time, you know, and that's the difference. So he's more relaxed as well, you know, he's very, very relaxed, and he's just waiting for that one opening. So, but Cooney is starting to turn the screw here now, and which is a good thing. He just needs to be more defensively aware as well. After his punches, after his onslaught, when he lands the shots, tighten back up with his own tight defense, just like Norman is. Don't take any shots, don't give away any easy or silly shots.
Gamaho Cooney, Durran Maclay. Agus Buile is Tagval Jintage Lenorma Cownell and East Faro Cooney. Sheila Cooney. Asha Salor. Shanson Suhage. Mar Norman Trecha Piganin. Mas Fade Cooney just Koopla Buile Elle. Achahavistacha Joe. Too sweet, Norman.
John Cooney is just starting to find the target with a lot more frequency now, and if you notice, Norman's defense is not as compact as it once was. It's becoming a little bit more looser, which would suggest that he's getting a little bit, you know, he's feeling the pace, the energy. His hands are just becoming a little bit looser, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing for John Cooney, you know, who is an extremely fit man, very, very fit, great energy, great condition. He actually seems to be boxing with a little bit more enjoyment now as well, which is a good thing for him, a very positive sign.
I think you noticed what you saw as well there, Eric, that a couple of wild punches from Norman there, which gave Cooney the chance, and I think Cooney senses just that drop in the fighting of Norman.
Yeah, just the pace is probably getting to him. Like, as I said before, Cooney's always in great shape. He's always in the gym. He's a very disciplined fighter, works hard, and yeah, he's starting to get to Norman now, and the pace of this fight is starting to get them. We're at the halfway point, and I suspect Cooney will take over from here.
Marsha Cheeky in the Vouty didn't go in and saw Cooney come here with a Gloidru, so Loidru Kimid Kunsve gets a Katu Bauta Norman Asha Tracha Kinta Aigafat Nis Darag Agus Hamid Olive Ledol and Sohinish Major Royal Mashir Agus and Katu Bauta Tosna Cheeky in the Vouty Hagin. Cooney, Allure,
Norman's, Cohen. Norman's face is looking a bit. He's starting to show the signs of those punches that he's been shipping from Cooney, and Cooney's quite a hard puncher, you know, and you can see the swelling on the left side of Norman's face.
Agus Cian Cooney shas Caunella Dasso Cooney ha. Nina Law of a Howard is a V ignore like Tusa Brian. Agus Desh Elion so Cooney Norman macht there if you can see the Hinal agent. Hoburn or Irish Glesha Dasso Cooney a Raggart Gulishtach a Teva Giel Agus a Cooney fos long the show Agus don't get your bind Tanivinish as Sharinke son Agus Dasso Cooney Gaelu O'Doran Clay and Bullion de Grev Egg Norman. And Cooney looks like he's beginning to enjoy it.
He's boxing like a real southpaw now, you know, off the back foot, slipping, moving, you know, hit and don't get hit, and you know it's nice boxing. And probably at this point here now,
and even that punch by Norman didn't phase him at all. Straight back hit him.
It didn't. There's not a lot in Norman's, but like I said, you know, he's still a very dangerous fighter. I wouldn't get too complacent with him. I wouldn't take my eye off the ball. John Cooney needs to be disciplined for the remainder of this fight, because as we said before, he has a big fight coming up against Liam Gaynor, and that's on the undercard of the Katie Taylor Chantal Cameron fight on the 25th of November in the Tree Arena. So it'll be a massive opportunity for John Cooney. You know, it'll be a big stage. But
Cooney with the hands up there now, Eric.
Yeah, he's the hands up there now, and he's just looking very confident, to be honest with you. He's looking like, and the way he's bouncing, the way he's moving, he just seems to be enjoying himself. He's in his flow, as we say. He's in his flow. He's in his rhythm.
Wach leis an Doranson go deasta me sin fiúún saí agus tá sé a fáid níos láidre cínte Cowan stíige fighter on the rack in your chuirsaí is héigíre.
Great numbers coming in here now as well, Coon. You know, it's a great little venue for a boxing card, for a boxing fight. You know, the people, you know, the room is starting to fill up now, which is a great, proven to be a great atmosphere.
As Cooney's been tracked to Dara and Bouts Norman. And Roish at Hagoila. And Solom Cooney beginning to pull away.
Yeah, he's beginning to pull away. Just looking at Norman there before he sat down in the corner, his face is well marked up. You know, for a guy that had such a tight defense, like, you know, a lot of those punches are going in behind the gloves. And the signs are pretty clear on his face. It's not an easy sport.
It's not. You mentioned that. There's always the fear, but we saw Cooney there. He began to raise the arms, open himself up, trying to entice Norman to come at him. And you can see he was dancing around the ring.
Yeah. No, look, as I said, he's boxing with confidence now, and you know he'll probably just want to do something similar now for the remainder of the last couple of rounds, and I suppose he'll get his head down then and start focusing on the next fight. But look, you still have to be very, very careful in this sport, because it only takes 1 second to change the pattern of a fight.
Bauta Cuig, the shave out the John Cooney's na Brishti Gara Orga. Gus and they're going in the Louis Too Sweet Norman o Leicestershire Shepshed Brishti Gara Bon Darragh Leis an leopard print ar a heh stocha death farach o mac céanna. Cooney bugad go maith. Hendo Jaswig.
He's been in some big fights, Norman, so he's been around, he's fought for the British flyweight and the English bantamweight titles, lost on both occasions, but that it just goes to show you that he has been in championship fights, and them fights would have been over 12 rounds, so there'll be nothing wrong with his conditioning. He'll be still a live opponent all the way up until the last bell, so just stay on the outside, John Cooney. Keep peppering him with that jab, landing good sharp backhands, and try not to get into a dust up with him, especially if you want to be in good shape coming up to your Tri Arena fight in November.
Agus sin dír chatta fescin to go in jab vahu Cooney, a dinah jab. Keemid Nish Saruish. We're getting glimpses every now and then of Cooney's potential here.
Yeah, he's a good lad. Like I said, I did a good few rounds with him, and I have to give him his credit. He impressed me when I sparred with him, and he has impressed me in his couple of fights up to this point, and I think he's going to go on and have a very good career.
A sé lig da Norman macht an onsaí agus Cousin Fawig a sé feirinis Crane díorchastach sna súile Norman Derek don bouta sa das agus Norman Bregraim ar an line chead é sin inamh Cooney a dhéanamh hénig cho beag sin.
Yeah, he got caught with a backhand there. He just there wasn't a whole lot of power in it, because it just flicked off his face as opposed to, punching through the target. It was just one of those flick out punches from Norman. But Cooney's done a really good job of controlling the pace of this fight. He's just really kind of controlled it, and that's what you want to be doing, especially with the other big event looming. Just to kind of see it out, control it, be in charge. And I think Norman is happy enough to just go at that pace now too. Like we said, he is a road warrior journeyman at this stage, so he's just happy enough to stick with this pace too.
We got the last fight completely wrong. We thought that Dominic the Bam Donegan won it. He didn't win it. We feel as though John the Kid Cooney is pulling away. He looks comfortable. He looks in control.
Yeah.
Is there any doubt with the last round coming?
No. In terms of scoreline, Cooney's in a demanding lead. The first round was a bit cagey, that's all. The first round could have been level because there wasn't nothing really happened in the first round. Apart from that big punch, that right hook that Norman landed at the start of the round. So the first round is a draw, and I give all the rest of the rounds to Cooney. And to be honest, all the rounds could be scored for Cooney, but the best I can offer Norman is a share of the first round.
We're not seeing as much of that right hand coming around the corner.
Final round.
Bout to Derek Marsha and so Herdwood, Idir Norman agus Cooney. Bout to Shea Chino and Will Fwack in Norman and Fade Lesh Cooney and Laga Hunt Haloon. Niaso Cooney, Ashe, Egordu and Kaidan, Hana Fade to some bout to taking Shea, Gahig Norman after an unsee. As he found Fuinev agus an luas a hot Cooney. Ramu Rugger on Norman. They fighter in sport Michart. Dale Norman. Doran Das Cooney. Cooney. It's impressive the way he keeps managing to keep that little distance between himself and Norman when he goes in.
Yeah. That's good work from Cooney now, yeah. He's just turning the screw here now a little bit, yeah. And just probably his coach probably is pulling the reins as well in the corner, probably telling him to, like, you know, just to be careful, see out this fight and don't do anything silly. Sometimes
Is that hard in the last round? Norman has nothing to lose.
Well, it can be hard because, like, you know, when you're a fighter, all fighters love to have a tear up. They love to have a scrap, particularly when they get caught with a punch.
Coaches don't like that.
No, they don't. It makes them a little bit angry, and they want to go in and retaliate and try and get that punch back and try and you know, get on
A lot
top.
of it is in the head, isn't it? That control, when to...
Massively. It's all about keeping composed, be aggressive but not angry to the level of reckless and careless. You know, you have to be super controlled in the ring, and when you lose the head, more often than not, you lose the fight.
Cooney. Norman to dul, agus so ligging to Norman couple of buile chavisteach on the show.
Nice bit of work from Norman there. He hit the body and then 2 nice shots to the head. And he's still smiling. He's smiling in the first round and he's smiling in round 6.
It's great to see.
It is, because they're enjoying their craft.
No wonder he is a so-called journeyman if he loves it that much.
Yeah, he's so relaxed in the ring. Like, you know, to be fair to him as well, he's after putting up a good, that was quite low, and he does acknowledge it and apologises. Referee has given John Cooney a little time out here, rightly so. It was quite low. But
Willis na Magli Mayach the Cooney. Ahmed Kakli Orlia Dolarai Ta. Couple second Falker Reanos.
to be fair to him now, he has given John a good test tonight. You know, a different test. A different kind of a challenge that John would have been used to in his pro career. And I think John Cooney will certainly come on and improve, because he's still in the learning phase of his career. And even though he's in the learning phase, the challenges are becoming a little bit more difficult every time. And the learning here is becoming a little bit more important.
For both boxers tonight, come on.
And,
Fantastic.
yeah, he certainly would have learned a lot about himself and his own ability from this night.
Yomi de Machon Farati Kenny K Gidirach aha Trish on Brian so wochen near van Cartagena might have seen here Brian Kihamid comes Marhagoin Don Hrid Oire his so Agus an vertfos to grind that hele by John Heine Agus is Lergavander Bert Heine Vason. I can see the boss the choral and the Kele. Joel much Makata Rockle and the Kele. And they're having a great chat still, Eric, there together.
Yeah,
Well, ladies and gentlemen, can we show our appreciation
respect.
one more time for both boxers tonight? Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Mr. Ron Kearney from Sunderland, scored the contest tonight 60 to 54 in favour of the winner from Galway, John Joaquin Cooney.
Shaskala Kahar Marsha John Cooney had Tracing Council of Wochen.
Let's hear it one more time.
Never in question, and I suppose the most impressive thing there was the control he had from start to finish.
No, look, it's a shutout points win for John, as I said. Norman, if he, you know, the only thing I could have really argued for him was to maybe have a share of the first round, but just because it was so quiet, there wasn't a lot happening. But I have absolutely no qualms about that. It was a dominant display from Cooney. It took him a while to just settle into it, but once he settled in, he handled it. And you do wonder as well how much of his mind was on this next fight. You know, it's boxing is one of those sports where it's kind of it's
Is it unusual to know your next fight?
yeah, it's very difficult to get into a other one set up down the line, and then you're trying to look good in your fight, but to also come through it and navigate your way through it unscathed, without any niggles, any injuries. It can be very difficult, and no matter how much you try to just focus on the fight and the opponent in front of you, subconsciously you're thinking down the line as well. But look, he's come through it, he's won, and I I just want to wish him the best of luck and Liam Gaynor the best of luck on their fight in November on the undercard of Katie Taylor and Chantal Cameron 2. It's a great opportunity for both fighters.
How big of a night would that be?
Oh, it's going to be huge. You know, it's a massive fight for Katie because we all know that, you know, she suffered her first defeat as a professional fighter and lost that fight for the undisputed light welterweight titles. But she has a chance to rectify that, and it's not impossible for her to do that. She definitely has the ability, has the skill and the talent to do it. But it's going to be very, very difficult.
And then for the other boxers, like John Cooney, like Liam Gaynor, to actually be part of it, it must help themselves, but also just to be part of it, something special.
Absolutely. I remember I was at the last fight and the energy was something else. The atmosphere, the noise, the vibe there was brilliant. It was so positive, and it's great to see big night boxing coming back to Ireland. Like, it's been so long since we've had the big arena shows in Ireland, so it's great to have it again. And for all the fighters that are on the undercard, likes of Emma Brennan, Gary Cully, John Cooney, Liam Gaynor, you know, I think there's a few more as well. It's a massive opportunity for them, and one that they will certainly enjoy and remember for a very long time.
It's great to see the big fight nights back, the professional fights. If we quickly talk about amateur, and of course Ireland been very successful in the Olympics the past couple of years, and now this question mark hanging over the future of boxing as an Olympic sport.
Yeah, but these question marks have been going on for a long time, and you know, every couple of months or every now and then there's headlines coming up to say boxing has gone off the Olympic calendar, etc., etc. But there is no definite answer yet. There is no definite result yet to say that boxing is gone. I do know that there is areas of concern at the hierarchy of amateur boxing in terms of compliancy and in terms of transparency, and that needs to be ironed out and worked out. But let's not forget that boxing is one of the richest, one of the most kind of incredible, one of the most inclusive, special, diverse sports in the Olympic Games, and it's been a part of the Olympic Games from the very beginning. If you think of the Olympic Games, you think of Muhammad Ali, you think of Sugar Ray Leonard, you think of all, you know, all these amazing global stars that, you know, are renowned with sport and with boxing. And I think there is many African countries that are very successful in boxing. The likes of, you know, socialist, underdeveloped countries who are very
so if we take a step back, Eric, and the big problem seems to be administrative, and the way that it's been handled. And we've seen that there's been a split recently, that the Irish, especially in the Americans, they've all joined together. And is it a case, do you think, that the IOC, the Olympic Committee, are just trying to wait and see, can amateur boxers, the countries, get it together so that they can ensure that they are part of it? As you said, the rich history, it's been there for years. It gives a lot of countries an opportunity to partake in the Olympics. Is it just a case of just wait and see?
Look, I actually think that for me personally, I'm a little bit concerned. I'm a little bit concerned about what I'm reading, but I'm not at the level where I think like, oh God, they've literally ruined it. Because I think like boxing has such a really important place in world sport, and just because of how much boxing is an inclusive sport. It's a diverse sport. There's not a club. You go into any club around Ireland or around the world, and you can find people in there from every background. You can find gender equality in there as well. You can find people there from different religions, different ethnicities, different colour, different. It's just so, and they're all training under the one roof as a club. And there's not another sport that I can confidently put my finger on and say that's the same. There's no sport like boxing when it comes to inclusivity, diversity and equality, and I think that should be the ethos of the Olympic spirit, and it is in a way. And yes, there needs to be an improvement at the higher level of amateur boxing, but I actually think there is a lot of improvement.
And it was big, wasn't it, from the Irish and especially the Americans to pull out and to start their own.
Yeah, now there has been a bit of a and what would you say, a bit of a change in direction from some countries, not all countries. There was a vote here at the AGM in Ireland, and they voted against the change. They wanted to stay with the IBA, with the current system of boxing the way it is right now. And I know that's the system that's been criticised for how they're being run. But from what I know, from the boxing people that I know that are steeped in the sport, they actually think, they believe that it will all work out. That it will all work out, and that's reassuring. You know, sometimes things can get a little bit headlines and clickbait and that kind of stuff can get a little bit too. People can run away with that.
And then I suppose being selfish about it, you see how impressive and how well run the elite team has been in boxing. And you go back to Billy Walsh, Gary Keegan, who's with the rugby team at the moment, and you can see the crumbs of how they started, and to have such a, isn't it great to see how much they've won and the standard, the level they're out, and wouldn't it be such a disappointment to see that stopping?
Yeah, no, look, it would be an absolute shame. It would be a travesty, really, if boxing ended up being removed from the Olympic Games. Oh my God, it would be absolutely, it would be devastating. It would kill the amateur sport, because many people would just go to the professional game at a much earlier age, and that lure of the pro game would become far more what would you say, far more welcoming, far more inviting, and because the Olympic spirit would be gone out of the amateur game. It would almost kill the sport. I hope it doesn't happen, because it is our most successful Olympic sport, and it brings amateur boxers in this country to a household name level, and we are approaching the Paris Olympic Games, and the good news is that boxing is in the Paris Olympic Games. We have the All-Ireland boxing champ. We have 5 qualified already, 5 boxers. We have Michaela Walsh, Aoife O'Rourke, Kelly Harrington, Dean Clancy and Jack Marley. So they're absolutely secured. Their Olympic spots are secured. They're training away. But we have the Irish Elite Championships on the 1st of November, and the final is the 11th of November. And the winners of the Elite Championships will go to the next Olympic qualifiers. So we've 5 qualified already, with 2 more chances left, 2 more Olympic qualifiers left. I do believe we'll have more than 5, and I do hope that we get somewhere in around 10.
And isn't that a credit to the high performance unit, that there's such a standard of boxers that you're talking about 5, and those 5 have a great chance to win a medal.
They do.
And you're saying the next contenders, would they also have a chance of a medal if they can qualify?
They do. Look, I mean, sometimes the hardest part is actually getting through, getting the qualification. And then once you get in there, you know, anything can happen. So look at Kenneth Egan and Darren Sutherland.
Yeah, of course.
Darren Sutherland, you know, God rest them. They were the last 2 to qualify in their weight categories. And then they go on, Kenneth win the silver and Darren got the bronze. But they were the last 2 to qualify. So it just goes to show you, sometimes qualifying is more harder than the games itself.
And especially when you have such competition in Ireland.
Absolutely.
Like, the elites are unbelievable to watch.
Even coming out of Ireland, like I'm working with Jude Gallagher at the moment, you know, and I've been working with him for a long time. I'm his coach. He's an incredible fighter, incredible boxer, Commonwealth Games gold medalist himself. He's only 22, he turned 22 last week. He's in training for these elite championships, but he's in a division, a featherweight division, that's one of the strongest divisions, if not the strongest division in the whole competition. There's going to be about 10 or 12 lads in that weight, but there's about 6 of those lads in that weight that are good enough to win and go on and even win major medals and qualify for the Olympic Games. So look, whoever wins that is going to be a strong candidate to get through and qualify for Paris.
Well, Jerome Drasher Horsi and so Mail Ferrister ha Kenny and Ashton Laura fine nach Togashachu Dama Mariseg Dechan a Hosnoig no Horisha Fodge Rish on Head Vet Dornali Ella Column the Posh Boy Murphy again Joshua Ocampo August the Posh Boy Murphy is Dornali Ma and Posh Boy Dredarov Selich and Mail Ferrister Visha Coney and North Dredarov. Do you feel that Shinefal going to the Posh Boy Air Shoe? Thoughts on the next fight, Eric?
Yeah, it's going to be a good fight between Posh Boy, Colin Murphy, and another of my old sparring partners, Colin Murphy, and he's on a bit of a a crest, crest of a wave at the moment. He's flying along, going really, really well. 8 wins under his belt, and he's had 2 good wins over Liam Gaynor as well. And he's Mark Dunlop has high hopes for him. He's only 23 years old. He's an academic. He has a lot of degrees and qualifications to his name, so he doesn't really have to focus or he hasn't got that, what would you say, that pressure on him to actually succeed in boxing, because sometimes in this sport the only opportunity or the only avenue some people have is the boxing. He has something to fall back on. He has a very good, strong education behind him. So, and I think that can help him box too, like that gives you a little bit of security in the ring, knowing that the outcome of this match is not going to really have too much of a bearing on your well-being and your livelihood and your future. So with that, you can box with more confidence.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for our third contest of the evening in the featherweight division. Please welcome to the ring from Colombia, Joshua Ocampo.
Joshua Ocampo, Colombia.
And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the ring tonight from Belfast, boxing out of the blue corner, Colm
Slua baile a Curfáil to Rimish Colum, the Posh Boy Murphy, Malone Road. Refshin the Honin and Risha Oga, Shimp, Ogden Wainchi, the Posh Boy, Colum Murphy. Brian Boyd to go, down on Naka, Neil Ain, trade Kaite, Curfáil again, Tafta Mathis and Falling Sean Recover, Sean Coffin Parish, down. Chris again, an hour son. Champion Celtic August, Ernach Homa Kena.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, weighing in at 9 stone, 5 pounds, 7 pounds yesterday, all the way from Colombia, ladies and gentlemen, boxing out of the red corner tonight. Would you please make a welcome one more time in Belfast tonight? Come on, Joshua Ocampo. And ladies and gentlemen, the Boxing Union of Ireland Celtic Featherweight Champion, our Super Featherweight Champion, weighing in at 9 stone 6 pounds, from Belfast tonight, ladies and gentlemen, one and only, Colm Ladies and gentlemen, for 6 by 3-minute rounds in the featherweight division, Ron O'Malley is finest horses in the bottom.
Okay, boys. Okay. Keep your heads up, keep your punches up, and keep it clean. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves, come on, boxing on the belt.
And 3 ready heno, Colin the Posh Boy Murphy, going to Joshua Ocampo. Shaky in the Vouti, Chi Nomad, account. Alexander Slua, Baile.
Second fight, round 1.
Shullin. Colum atas no topic. 8 buige as 8 Brian Ra knockout.
Looks in good shape, Murphy. Yeah, he looks in really good shape. He's big as well. He's a big lad for the weight category, and he's only 8 fights to his name in the professional game, but like he's mixed in really good company. He's boxed Rowan Farrell, who's decent amateur and a good pro, and I said he beat him for the BUI Celtic title. He defended it against Liam Gaynor, and then he stepped up and boxed Liam Gaynor for the Irish title and won that. So he's already got 2 titles to his name, a Celtic and an Irish, and he's only 8 fights in.
Coming a master Gadisa Homa Ken Hashina Mahaga. I was Willa Lloyder, ball off on the side of Mahaga, Clay August Das. I was Elu Mach Tapiga Rohin, Joshua Ocampo, Snabrish Tigara Glassa, Colum Pashboy, Murphy Snakin Du. August ha a Gairilesh, Barnia, I'm shoot.
Ocampo is just trying to have a look at Murphy's just trying to stay out of trouble and navigate his way around the ring, but Murphy won't allow him to settle at all, and he's getting in and landing some big body shots to the big right hand swings to the body. It's a good tactic actually. He doesn't seem to like them, Ocampo. He doesn't seem to like them shots at all. Who would? Who would like those big shots to the body?
Agus Murphy, oh Annie, yes, Doran Lloyd or Dasso Murphy. He drove Clegg in Ocampo, Agus jab Dastation. Love Clay. Agus Murphy. Gomura Ganas Gadisa. There's a Rish Mascon Dastavali or the Ishel Stach Sachorp Stach Sochligan. Agus in Sheenus of Resson again. That extra length is a huge advantage.
Yeah, he's got a big advantage on Ocampo here, and you know, Ocampo is not the greatest fighter, and he's just he's seen as an opponent to kind of give Colin a few rounds to keep him busy, keep him progressing in his career, but shouldn't really trouble him too much at all.
Ochki in the Ridna Habwiteg Joshua. I'll say Shin Roger shaking Dale Kaitige. Near Stopper Listen, shaking Deg Hakaitige. 10 second deadal. August Colin Murphy Gomor Flankin, it's about the oil hissa. August another Joshua in, Doran Larira in the show. Colin Murphy, August. Colin Murphy will be very happy and satisfied with that round.
Yeah, he just jumped into straight into gear, and very convincing first round, very dominating first round, and as I said, like Ocampo shouldn't really cause too much trouble. Murphy was in such an exciting fight against Liam Gaynor the last time. It was an absolutely incredible one in the Europa Hotel. They were fighting for the Irish title, and Colin picked up a cut. He picked up a cut from a clash. I think it was a clash of heads in the second or third round in that fight, and the blood was gushing down his face. And it just kind of spurred him on, because he said, I don't want this fight to be stopped with a cut. He came back out, and he ended up stopping Gaynor in the 6th round. It was an incredible fight.
Seconds out, round 2.
Two correlation turn about that. August Colin Murphy reached Laura Fine, August Fiachan Smachtgar, Horsi Hana Fein. Come on, Joshua Temple, the fine Stach Samach.
And I should just say that fight was stopped because of the cut, because of the clash, but it went to the scorecards, and Murphy was ahead on the scorecards. But it was scheduled for 10, and all of the fans felt robbed of 4 more rounds, because it was a brilliant fight. Nobody wanted it to stop, but the clash was too bad, and it needed to be stopped, yeah. But Murphy's on top here, and he's all over Ocampo at the moment.
Sé go mór san uachtar ha neart bhreaga sna builí san Clay.
Yeah, he just can't seem to handle him, can he? Like the size is something. Oh, good body shot.
Agus Murphy cín sé deis haige agus chas a cúpla dorna san déal a sé machas. You know. And the SO Murphy. Great control of things.
He is, and he just, you know, we could hear the sound effects off that right hand to the basement there. It was just an incredible punch, and definitely took the wind out of Ocampo's sails, who is not really doing a whole lot in this fight. You know, he's just going from corner to corner, and he's just holding his ground, but he's not he's not being competitive, and I don't think it's going to be too long before Murphy actually gets to grips with this fight, and he may even stop him.
Ní stop chur le campa rábhálta mar ráite gom sa shaking jags na tridna ha cailte Comer scéal sa béad go dar loch se an slítha Murphy dul má leanan Murphy leis seo a gaiú leis an dá láh. Still Michael Murphy bain taineh sohanis a sé le close gach bouta chahan sé an dorna sé béca o campo tachtanesh.
He's a durable opponent though, Campo. You know, he's had 16 losses and he's only been stopped twice. So it proves that he is a resilient type of fighter, and I think if Murphy manages to stop this fight or finish this fight before the 6th round or before it goes the distance, that would be a very impressive statement from him.
De second adults Murphy a Gairi ní ar fad ó Murphy a roiis deile a Gairi leis nach mar gacha le bouta dor na lagar ó campo agus Murphy, you can see him stepping up that round again, just the pace a bit, the reach, and then both hands landing nearly each time.
Yeah, he's turning the screw again, you know. As I said, like, Joshua Ocampo is a very resilient, resolute type fighter, 29 years of age, from Colombia, living in Valencia. And we know the Colombians, they're very, very tough, rugged, hard men. They'd be very proud as well. You know, he wouldn't want to be given, you know, he obviously wouldn't want to be, with only 2 stoppages on his record. It shows you that he don't fold over too easy. But I'm pretty sure that Dee Walsh, Murphy's coach in the corner, will want Murphy to try and bring this to a close inside the distance, and if he can, it'll be good.
10 seconds.
He's looking like he might be able to do it.
Well, it's he's been challenged. But he's kind of person that he loves the challenge, you know, and he'll definitely go for it. As you were saying earlier, like, you know, that the killer instinct is something you need in the ring, and he has it.
He looks like he has it.
He has it.
Commodore there. Say nach der nun so ich das sofort beruhigt, der ist Masca und das da Vili lecker Ocampo. Idir or the sea shall agus mach go sneach clay Ocampo I bien. As at her cousin se vresta on Elin Clayson úsáide. I think Ocampo is trying to protect that left rib cage. She's Ocampo reach. Murphy fought níos congrí to stop her leis seo.
I just see Phil Sutcliffe walking into the room here. Phil Sutcliffe Senior, the head coach of Crumlin Boxing Club, and just a great coach and a legend of Irish boxing, Olympian and former Olympian and European medalist, and you know, he would have been he definitely would have got a ticket to come up and watch Declan Garrity tonight. And what's good as well is, even though Declan Garrity's fight is off, all of his fans have decided to continue to come in and support the rest of the fighters. That's fair. I think that's a touch of class, so fair play.
Murphy nach goma agus cúp count das leige Ocampo so crín se chuig an vertical calculor leun droig go ríist focal tapig an réitor leo Hendo over feet Ocampo didn't come off nach the sticks counter.
Talking about superstar boxers, Brian McGee just walked by us here as well, another former world champion, a man who boxed Karl Froch, and a man who went to Olympic Games as well and won a European silver medal. So plenty of boxing superstars and household names in here tonight to support the fighters, which is always good.
Murphy, a Cavra, Bulle, Nether, Willian Bien, Ocampo in the Dieg. Murphy leis clay is on das. Ocampos a chuoinige.
He just seems to be going from corner to corner now, Cuan. Like Murphy's on top, but he just needs to try and penetrate that defence, because it is that kind of peekaboo style that Ocampo has, that turtle down in the shell. I'd like Murphy to kind of just cut off the ring, because he seems to be just following him around in a circle, and even though he's punching a lot of punches, they're not really hitting the target. Ocampo is calling him in. He's calling him on. But he's very experienced. He knows how he's survival tactics. You know, he knows how to bite around. He knows how to bite time.
And compare that to the first fight with Dominic the Bomb Donegan, where stayed stationary against the ropes.
Yeah. You know, you watch, if you stick around boxing long enough, you'll see all the little technical and tactical strategies.
Agus Sussan Sullivan the Dornall and Colin Murphy, we thought that he might go ahead and try and finish.
Look, he does want to finish it, right? He does want to finish it, because you can tell he is hungry, he's aggressive, but he's young. He's 23 years old. He's still learning the game, and even though he has, like I said, he's mixed it in really good company. There's a pretty decent record to his name. He's Irish champion, he's Celtic champion. But Ocampo is using all of his experience here. He's very, very clever fighter. So Colin needs to stop following him around to the same direction and cut the ring off. And when he cuts the ring off, try and land those shots, drive them through the target, hit the body and drive them up the middle, split the, I think that's nice. Hit the body and finish with an uppercut up between his defense. Try and split the guard. Because this kind of tempo and pace that Ocampo is at, he could do that all day long.
Hashe knows clog, hashe mach timpel o clog. Or gach lava. Hashe's Queen Bon, right shagging Queen Derek, now the right shagging Count Bon and ish. Hashe's a Queen Bon and ish. Now the right shagging Count Gorham. Yeah, Count Gorham.
You see Ocampo's moving to his left all the time, and it's just circling around to his left, What Murphy needs to do is move across to his right, to his own right, and cut that avenue off and land his own right hand.
Murphy, Sheen Avrin Road, the Leshan Thuranoir, his son. Count Machto Craig Gadas, like Murphy. Ashe Gira, Ashe Kamatas winning and Isha chance again.
He needs to follow that up. Good body shot. Now follow it up, because he's still there. Ocampo is there, and Ocampo he'll just stay there all night. Murphy needs to really open up.
Chance like Murphy, Ocampo, Bugga, Saul Unguina son. Dasso Murphy, Ashe Fosa Squeena, though Campo, Dol Timpo, Okuina, Gokuina. Saul Ocampo again.
And he's just scooting out to his left every single time. You know, he only seems to have one directional movement, and that's around to the left.
Yeah.
And Murphy should be wide to this. He should be switched on to this, and cut that avenue off, and then throw the right hand and then the left uppercut straight up the middle and split his defense. That's what I'd like to see.
Nisha Sahuina Riestig Murphy. Felice Echmad Stigon. Agus bí beidir chuir John Tavella ha Murphy ligging for Eluma. That's on Murphy.
That's good. That's good work.
Desh ag Murphy and so beidir. Leno mit le dola Darren Bautasa.
You watch how Ocampo, he just throws out a little feint here and there, and that really is just all he's doing. He's not trying to hit Murphy, he's just trying to keep Murphy off, just to keep him guessing, keep him thinking. And what he's doing is he's buying time, and he's seeing out the round. Very clever, very experienced work. And as I said, even though Murphy has a couple of titles under his belt, he's still in the learning phase. And he's doing, you know, this is a big learning fight for him.
I'm talking about the learning here. We know now he's like a clock. He's just going around and around.
Yeah,
Murphy now has to step in and direct him to go the other way, dictate it.
He does, because you know, like as I said, he's moving on to Murphy's right hand, believe it or not. But Murphy is not closing the gap to land that punch.
About the Cúigin cé about eile Cháceann le Dulligan agus Colin Murphy a chun tosig Darlin Hénig agus an tréálaí ará leis cad le duine. Agus Ocampo ar a gá chuisiil bhí dul a ríist.
Corners, 10 seconds. Seconds out. Round 5.
Right órá sin tréálaí bailú leis amach go tappaig. Nish Murphy. Ocampo sa chuoine a ríist aige. Ocampo bog a saoil. Ocampo bug ar yes. No, Corraig sé. Níos fearr Murphy ach má stigan son. Gan lígan dá tachtamach. Ocampo sa chuoine eile is a ríist eile. Murphy gíreach má dá prabamach a ná.
He's just, yeah, he's using every bit of his experience there at Ocampo, you know, and he's just biding his time. I tell you, it's a shutout victory. This will be for Murphy, but I think in terms of learning from this, he will definitely learn loads. He's the kind of opponent that would teach you a lot. Ocampo is teaching Murphy a hell of a lot in this fight.
Because you can begin to see a bit of frustration in Murphy. A couple of his punches aren't landing.
Yeah. But they'll teach you to be patient. They'll teach you to be tolerant in the ring. They'll teach you to kind of use use your mental ability to try and set the traps, to try and close the gaps, and use different strategies and tactics, and they'll just get you looking at your game and thinking about things differently. And he might be mad at himself for not being able to stop him, but in retrospect, it'll be a very valuable 6 rounds for him.
Agus a ríis níosmó builí an landálaigh Murphy. Nádú léon ceann caite ag Ocampo ina threo go fáil in áiríre. Leanómat le dul deir an báutasta Murphy. Ní asú Murphy a ríis agus Ocampo a croicín, dairg dat mé bhfuil an son. Agus Murphy didn't go ma. Sin é scéal an tríd san áiríre. Murphy didn't go ma. Ocampo a gealú, is a gealú. 10 second le dul. Agus sin deir an báta son agus Murphy's doing well, Eric. He's landing punches, but Ocampo just keeps evading him, and we keep saying how well Murphy's doing, but he's not managing to land, I suppose, that knockout that he's possibly expecting.
Yeah. Look, credit to Ocampo, to be honest with you, because you can actually see why he's only been stopped twice. He's very cute in that he doesn't really get nailed down too much. But look, it's a dominant win. But again, this is valuable rounds for Murphy. Like I said, he's still very young. You could see when the clapper went at the end of the 10 seconds there, Ocampo had a little go himself. So he's still fiery. He's still quite dangerous. You want to be not allowing these guys that look like they don't want to engage for a long time. Then you can take your eye off the ball, and that's exactly when they'll hit you. So you just have to stay composed, stay disciplined, and see it out. He's well on top, and he's well in the lead.
Bouta sé Colin Murphy na gcuine Joshua Ocampo.
it can be quite difficult as well, Kuhn, to fight somebody that doesn't really want to fully engage with you, like, you know, and you know, you have two fighters in the ring, but only one wants to win and the other one just wants to get through the rounds. That can be very difficult, you know. So I understand the frustration for Murphy, and I can understand his predicament that he's in the ring, but this is the nature of the game. You have to deal with what's in front of you.
And should your mentality change then? Okay, we're not going to get a knockout, just points. Keep adding on the points.
Yeah, so it's a learning game, and it'll teach him a lot, you know, it'll teach him a lot. And he probably won't see it now, but over time he'll be able to look back and say, you know what, these were good rounds. Good 1-2 from Murphy.
William Ordwig. Agus Ocampo Bugger Yesh. Murphy fnacht de toos, nom geledel. Ocampo din the Henning hope.
Nice there, the crowd getting behind him as well, Kuhn. Sorry for cutting you off there, but nice there, the crowd get behind him now, and the atmosphere is rising in here. They're really trying to drive him home, but he's a good, honest pro, Murphy. You know, he always gives he gives everything. He always gives 100%.
A fiery Shishon now. Brian de Murphy. Agus. Willie Lloydra Havagedro Campo Campo. Asu Stachashe. And Van Tanevas na Willie. Count Island Sunwig. The fire there, Kayla. Agus.
Referee said that was a slap to the body. Colin Murphy just acknowledges with a little kind of nod of the head, but he's back to business again.
Murphy. 10 second with Martin le Dullanish. Clushamidon. Bula Boston so. Teva fine it. I've taken an Shkia Fiakla. 10 second le Dull.
It's unusual to see that, your gum shield's falling out of your mouth without getting a punch in the mouth. So probably biting the gum shields with frustration that he can't really nail down this Ocampo and let off his punches in the fashion that he'd like to.
Chin Marchand, Cook, Vuelta, Agus, Eric Donovan. I think it's a home win for Colin Poshboy Murphy.
Yeah, no, there's only one winner there, and great to see the respect between both fighters at the end. Ocampo is acknowledging the crowd as well and thanking them for, I suppose, the support for him too, because good 6 rounds for Murphy.
Give him some big round of applause for both boxers, come on.
Yomi de Machanish Kade Kinna Narratori, Dinamit Namach Willem Bua, Colin Murphy, Kuma Kumpor the hair, or who's there, or Trid Oire his son. Not the all taken the right door, Hasha saw slash in. Agus an Verska Kaintle in the Kale Hinish. Agus Kenny Curtin Sumila Kale. No, to Mach Kadain scale, Agus an issue me to Mach Kadakin in the right door.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we please show our appreciation one more time for two fantastic boxing here tonight? Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Sir Ron Kearney from Sunderland, has scored the contest 60 to 54 in favour of the winner tonight from Belfast, Colin Murphy.
Agus Hambua Egan Durnolly Onite Baile Ovel Ferrisha Colin Murphy Agus Sasta on Vertica Kailur Le Kele Anna Redo Campo Vertica on the horse Le Kele Agus Murphy now treat Buit again ish Horkion Le knockout Agus Eric, I suppose, what's the main thing Colin Murphy can take from that particular fight. He seemed to very enjoy it. Big smiles to himself and Ocampo. They've got on afterwards.
Yeah, look, these are learning fights for him, and these guys, Ocampo and that, they will never, they don't want to win, but they'll teach you a lot about patience in the ring, about strategies, about tactics, about how to set up traps, how to set up your opponent with different feints, different moves. That it's not all one-dimensional, it's not all predictive. And when he goes back to the gym with D. Walsh, they'll work on some of those things. But look, it was a shutout victory. He came for the win. He got the win. He moves on.
Shane Rulis thought the Tridella Fosa attacking Conor King Kong Kerr versus Lightning Luke Bash agus Conor Quinn agus Chris Liddell. A famína chun suspio Joaquin Ishmael Genom the Bar the Win Marsha funding in the Mahanis Eric Donovan Arash County Full Quick Moment New Marsha.
right.
Federation so go Bell Ferristeger, Clash of the Clans, Halla Pubble Girdwood. Vienta Anna Hannibal Gadisa, Habuatrish like CJ Tiger Wood, the Kid Cooney, Agus Poshboy Murphy, Joaquin Dulligan, Connor King Con Kerr, been enlightening Luke Fash, Kid Trid Elia, Shawin Kenny, Farity.
Of the evening, would you please welcome into the ring from Hull, Lightning, Luke Fash.
It's been a ride. I guess I had to go to that place to get to this one. Now some of you might still be in that place. You're trying to get out. Follow me. I'll continue. You can try and read my lyrics off of this table before my layer. But you will take the sting out these words before I say them. Just ain't the way I'm gonna let you stop me from causing pain. When I say I'm gonna do something, I do it. I don't give a damn what you think. I'm doing this for me. So the bird feed beans is gassed up. Everything's stopping me. I'm a be what I set out to be without a time.
Luke Fash, Lightning Luke Hull sticks the fine of
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the ring tonight from Belfast, Conor King Kong Kerr.
Feeling my fingertips were made to touch your skin. Days only last for a minute. I never questioned why I
Shawin King Khan, Connor Kerr, O'Bell Ferster, Tridavine, Buavine, Amateur of Ledarov, Agus Asha Diach Trish Ashtusta in the Imror Professionta, Dornali Professionta Imliana. About that the free moment of Egwin said Trid Oir his but she showed topic. Not much to go on with Conor King Khan, Kerr, Eric.
No,
only
he's
one
not bad.
fight.
Yeah, but I know him from his amateur days, and he boxed my boxer Jude Gallagher, actually, a boxer that I coached in the Ulster final, and he gave a good fight. You know, he gave Jude a good fight. So, but he's always seemed to me like a person that would be better suited to the professional game, and so no surprise to see him switch over here. And yeah, look, very early in his career, so there's not a lot to go on. He had a points win in his debut, and he shouldn't have too much trouble here with Luke Fash, but he's in the early stages.
Luke Fash, 3 wins, 94 losses.
He's a true road warrior. That's what we call that.
That's the definition of that.
That's the definition of a journeyman. Yeah. So, but look,
he must love it.
He loves it. He absolutely loves it. Yeah.
Take yourself at all times.
Look, so shouldn't be too much trouble here now. You know, Luke Fash has been in the ring with previous Irish opponents such as Keane Lewis, Ruan Farrell, Keane Doyle, Sam Carroll. He's a very tough and well-respected journeyman, and the reason he has so many fights is because he provides a good test, and he is a good stepping stone for these fighters.
Right on.
They're about to the 3 moment, Shawin and Kied. Bauta King Khan. Now that you're like King Khan directly. Ní dem buile feice fósta gain. Anna siúil timpeall an fáinna dhéanamh go, has siad Quran aithnéir. Deir buile ó King Khan, or deir an buile Tridavine. Há na lábha bugad go tappaigh aige, á luas úntach aige. Bugad go tappaigh, seo featherweight gan áras. An cleifeachin. Yes.
Yeah, it's a 4-rounder, just a 4-rounder, a little warm-up before the main event. You know, he's looking in good old shape, you know, he's in really good shape. Super featherweight division now. He boxed Jude Gallagher in the featherweight division that time, and as I said, he gave a good account of himself that night. So he does know his way around the ring. He does know he's a decent boxer. I give him his credit, I give him his due, you know, and hopefully he goes on to have a good career. It's nice work from him there.
Bhfuil sé buile isteach féin gíal an son. Consá géis na láha bugaige hasí tapig mar láha gem a bhíochar sin ce tapig sa siad.
Very good.
Dúnmh tá gháil. Agus iad a feire chéile ceir a bhálta. Agus dain séir sé ceir a bhálta. Agus mar bheith taramh a brú an duine siar.
Got a great energy about him, and got caught with a good jab there. Yeah, just leaving his hands low, and just kind of, I suppose, standing square in front of Fash without moving the head. He needs to move that head. Conor Kerr needs to move the head when he's in front of his opponent. You just kind of have to be swaying from side to side. But he's got a good energy, good vibe about him. Like, he is not one of these guys who just wants to stand and do tippy-tappy with you. Like, he really wants to have a go, and he's definitely forcing the initiative here.
Agus sé Conor Kerr hat mind. Luke Fash timple. Fine it. Vertica come Grimer chéile. 10 seconds le dul. Ag deire about the sa. Agus Kerr go and didn't get cap when he got about the sun, and quick hands by Kerr, but he let Fash come into it a bit at the end.
Yeah, look, it was, you know, it's pretty shutout round, to be honest with you, like, you know, and as I said, with Kerr, he goes about his business straight away. He gets really down to it. He doesn't want to be like one of these, one of these fighters who just kind of want to sit back and have a look. He's a come-forward fighter, and it is still very early in his career. And these fights help you to build. They're the building blocks, really, for you. But 4 rounds. I think we talked about this before.
Yeah.
About 4-round fights are quite risky. They're risky and tricky, because if you do lose a round in them, you have to win the other 3. You know, so it can be always cagey. But like, there's no doubt about who won the first round. So he's well he's well up on the cards at the minute. But you don't want to be giving anything away. There's no room to give anything away at this in a 4-round fight.
Seconds out. Round 2.
And about that's Kerry Keane Tusna. Agus Kerr reaching a lot of topics on the new side to get on the job by Yenavige. Ach, Nisha Yenavig Biog, ach, Fash. Gaim Shoe is Spjuk. A fire a Praba team on the heart. Vano Makile. Agus Kerr. A Laurel go fight it. Doran Das Clay. Ah, yes, okay, then Aileen Chamach.
Yeah, that was nice. 3 punches to the head and finished dropping one downstairs. And if you just notice with Fash, I should say, he's going to the left as well. So a little bit like Ocampo against Murphy, always going around to the left. So what Conor Kerr needs to do now is shut that gate on the left-hand side and not allow him to be moving in that direction, and bring him back into range, and then hit him with those shots.
Agus Hanna Lava topic at Kerr, it's just barna eigen to aim shoot the Heinig agus beg get. Daswig, Kauna Leshan Thoran Das.
Oh, that was a big punch there for Fash. Yeah, it just landed a right hook. Good response from Kerr.
Anna Ragnar County sin Doran Clay Rob Bulle as I chéile sin Doran Clay stach. And I got Count Elle. Chasna chirp. Chocolate second le dose lessa. Shearlow.
The pace has slowed down a little bit now, but this is suit Flash, you know, he's happy with that pace being slow.
An chucht na láve Kerr. Cínta haníos má bulí lecaige Fash. De second le dul. Kerr on the after fad. Kerr definitely landed more punches.
Yeah, no, he's two to the good, so in my book anyway. But you know, we could be wrong. I got it wrong with the Dominic Donegan fight. I still think Dominic was hard done by, to be honest. I thought he won that fight. Nah, but it's very there's absolutely no doubt about it in my mind that Conor Kerr is 2 up in this fight, and he's halfway through it at the moment. And yeah, just enjoying it. Look, I can see why. I can see why Luke Fash has so many fights on his card, and I can see why has boxed so many
he's
Irish.
lost 94 times.
Well, I can also see that, but like I think losing is part of is the kind of job that he's signed up for. Like, but you can see why he was used so many times by Irish promoters, because he's boxed several Irish fighters because he's durable, he's resilient, and he gives you a good stiff contest.
Chibauta. Kerry decided Doran Clay. Das Clay is on a lot of a bug of topic again.
Good quick jabs from Kerr.
And Lewis against Nalova.
That's it, and that's how we need to shut that left hand avenue. It's with that left hook.
He lands a lot of punches in quick succession.
He's good. He's a good puncher. He's a good fighter. But as you said about these type fighters going, you know, they just they're coming in when they, you know, with one strategy, and that's just to navigate
It's
the way.
impressive how they hang in there.
It really is, you know, and they know all the tricks and all the kind of experience. They have all the experience to navigate their way through the rounds, and but it'll be a good 4 rounds in the bank for him if he can if it goes 4 rounds.
Agus Kerr a fágan spáidir hain agus Fash taking sé nach go cuiintún sí a Fash agus a ríis deile. Agus Fash níos meachta an ún sí. Kerr. Shin. Very impressive the way he's landing those punches.
Yeah, it was good fast hands there. Now, to be fair, like they didn't really take too much of an effect on Fash, because
not much power behind them.
We call them like they were peppered shots. Like, you know, there weren't really much power in them. Plenty of speed, but they were kind of shoe shining, tip tappy, you know. Yeah, but no, I'd just like him to just kind of work the body a little bit more, because Fash has really got a tight defence. Look, and a lot of these shots that he's punching in, they are blocked on the arms.
Yeah.
I'd like him to target the body, because if he can start throwing punches to the body, as Teddy Atlas says, put some water in the basement. If you put some water in the basement, you bring his hands down and you can come over the top.
Mentioned Cooney and Posh Boy Murphy, how they'd learn from their opponents. I suppose Kerr, he's 28. This is only his second fight. He'll learn huge. You can see the frustration. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, but you have to remember as well, though, you know, Coon. So when they come up against guys that are getting in the ring to win, then it's going to be more of a live match. You know, there's more engagement, more interaction between both fighters. But like these guys here are the stepping stones for that, and you just have to get through them. And you know, sometimes it can be a little bit like golf. Did you ever go onto a golf course and you think you're going to smash it, and you end up going back probably halfway through the course with your tail between your legs? These guys can do the same. You step in, you think, okay, look at his record, I'm going to smash him and I'm going to take him out.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. They teach you something. You learn something in every fight as you go along with these guys.
About the Derek Marchand. Kerr, reached on the law of it.
This is good.
Yeah.
See the body shots like this. When he gets close, work the body, because Fash is doing everything he possibly can to keep his head protected with his defense. And as when he's doing that, he's leaving his body exposed.
Wille elle lekker. Ik keer raak aan als die hele klei agus das. Ik keer. Oh, Dale Shagamawik son. Cosentva. Kerr's done well defensively as well. Whenever Fash has come at him, he's managed to push him away to one side.
Yeah, no, it's good ring generalship, you know, ring control. He's handling himself in there very well. And look, I think it has to be said as well that he shipped a good right hand over the top. But it has to be said that this is a good opponent for him to do that. It's allowing him to be able to do that, to showcase his skills. But the journey is going to get a lot more difficult as he progresses. And naturally so.
Fash Kermuila Corsi. No Makila. Agus right over is gone and ill new side.
Yeah, the referee is just warning Kerr there to just be a little bit more tidy with his work there. Getting a bit frustrated, I think, Kerr is, you know, this happens, you know, it happens at this level. We just spoke about this, but these guys will teach you a thing or two, these journeymen, these road warriors.
Kerr and the law of the Hiesiga Heinig. Trasakeen, and this is turning a bit. Both are unhappy with each other.
Yeah, but this is nice boxing off the back foot from Kerr as well. Like, even though he's being marched down, you know, Fash is not really having any success. He's just marching him down, and it's good footwork and good counter punching from Kerr.
Spás aimsige. Oh, Anna Yasafado Kerr. Vancha Tanya son. Agus a Fashigir in his cúpla doran. A chahav is mid a drid Joe Dere. On Brian 10 second le dul. Anna Yaso Kerr. Agus Crichno for Marshaha. Agus Shin. Brian Ma. Idir and Versta. Captain Kerr will buitige. Another home win?
Yeah, another home win. Win for Kerr. A shutout win, shutout victory in my opinion.
Kenny if Nath and Mike fight to get.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's show our appreciation one more time. Give the classical sponsorship tonight.
mid of nachtje Kenny Lave na Torhi and right to Royal got a fight to get shoot. Agus Credin Eric Donovan son Nacklam William Bua Egg Farbell Ferrister Connor King Con Care Lightning Luke Fash agus Roy Shishon Tarn the trade hat Trishve Connor Care Caspontus Matt Tuckaga Wig Lava Bugaga Mahaga.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is before you announce the winner. Let's give them both a big round of applause one more time. Come on. Absolutely fantastic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, your referees from Senator Mr. Don Kearney has scored the contest tonight. 40-36 in favour of the winner from Belfast,
Spot on, Eric.
Yeah. He's got a good fan base as well, you know, and I think that's always important in the professional game. If you can get a bit of a following behind you and give the fans a really good, memorable night, then they can go on this journey with you, and it can be a very exciting time. And you know, he's very early in his professional career, but yeah, he'd be very happy with that.
And Hoster and a lot to work on as well, as we said, like you were mentioned there, quick punches and all that, but was there much behind them?
Yeah, he just there's plenty to work on. Like, he always should be learning from each fight. But to be fair to him, he didn't make too many mistakes in the fight. You know, he got caught with a couple of wild punches over the top, but it didn't really, you know, he showed that he had a very tough chin as well. Look, it's a fight. It's 4 rounds in the bank, and as I said, it's a learning curve for him, and he progresses and onwards and upwards. Janin. How are you getting on, bro? Yeah.
Hold your head up high for tonight. Every night, you're a superstar. And don't you be afraid. Think of all the friends you made. Like any other night, you got your name in lights. You're a superstar. You're a superstar.
Okay, folks, here's what you don't know. Want to see you all trying it in with it now? This young man looks as if he knows it. Here we go, real done. Right.
Philip Sutherland is my name, right? Right?
Where it began,
Let's see it.
then I know it's growing strong.
As you do, as you do, as you do.
Was the spring, and spring became the
Was
summer.
it real much next to what's in there?
Who believed you'd come
You know that.
along?
Let's see it. Let's see the hands up.
Agus Níos luha na seachtasach an áras saoil drone up and so be Hugh Russell gur caiilecha iardúr an All-League an áras Hilton Piper show ná Philip Sutherland. Philip, huge loss this week with the death of Hugh Russell.
I would just like to say, right, my condolences to the Russell family. I shared a room with Hughie in Moscow Olympics. He was a good old friend of mine. My wife sewed his shorts before we went over, and we all miss you, Hughie. Sad loss, right? Sad loss, right? Rest in peace. And you're a legend. You're a legend, and you'll always be a legend, right? Thank you very much.
Míle mágad sa bhfuil be ráite go deasagad agus más pobl an tata seo de Hugh Russell agus beag debhuile plug ann dá níos luha. Agus Eric, you'd like to add about Hugh Russell?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's great to hear those amazing words from Phil Sutcliffe. Phil Sutcliffe, as I mentioned earlier on in the programme, he walked by our table here. Just Olympian, Irish coach, European medalist. He was very friendly with you, Russell, and it feels like we're missing something here tonight with you gone, with you passing away. And it's my first night. It's my first night at a boxing show in Belfast, and Hugh Russell is not here. So we just want to, let all of his friends and family know that we're thinking of them tonight. And Hugh was honestly one of the nicest people that you could ever meet, and a legend as well, who won a bronze medal in the 1978 Commonwealth Games in Canada, and he won a bronze medal in the 1980s Olympics in Moscow. And he then turned to his hand to photography, and he's been a photographer at all of the boxing shows that I've been at for going back as far as long as I can remember being in boxing. And being up here in the north of Ireland and anywhere around Belfast, Hugh Russell was here, and always a kind word, always a word of encouragement, just an absolute legend, and he'll be sadly missed in the world of sport, and specifically the world of Irish boxing.
Suúil Shiri le Hugh Russell. Agus díríimiisteach an bríomh bhálta Trónóna inniu. The magnificent Conor Quinn Chris Spark Liddell.
Pat McLean Bookmakers, Mr. Cian Leanan from Leanan Timber Framework, Mr. Chris Ross from Ross Brickwork, and the Europa Hotel, and of course TG4 Carriger, TG4 Sports. Let's give them all a quick round of applause, please. Come on.
Buchas goálta leis na thuirithe ar fad.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome into the ring tonight from Glasgow, Chris Spark Liddell.
Agus slú Glasgow Osar Hóir Trónóna ha slú Chris Spark Liddell. Site Osar Gorama hasí in the hassle. Agus he's a cur fáilte Ribbon Spark a hénig. Liddell mar shaking the ridden the shoes quick bua count on kite to get Agsnish in a gonna scales up rete again bar so Conor the magnificent Quinn shot Boite Kara knockout co-score of all he left down kite to get
right in my face. I was born stand up and talking back. My daddy was a green-eyed mountain jack.
August, unbelievable story about Conor Quinn. He made his comeback on your big fight night last year and a couple of health scares, and it's hard to think that he's fighting.
Yeah, look, very interesting story. We know Conor Quinn, he turned professional. He emigrated to Australia back in 2019, and then he turned professional. And he had quickly 2 wins on the trot out there in Brisbane and in Thailand. And he moves home in 2020, and due to COVID, he signs up with Mark Dunlop. And he had a brain scan back home here, because you need to get a brain scan in the jurisdiction that you're in. Just bear, pause for a second here.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this stage of the game, if we can please have total silence as we pay homage and tribute to one of our greatest boxers of all time here in Northern Ireland, and indeed Ireland as a whole. Hugh Russell, very, very sadly passed away yesterday, and it was a tragic, tragic death. Hugh Russell was a professional boxer from Northern Ireland who competed from 1981 to 1985. He held the British bantamweight title in 1983 and the British flyweight title from 1984 to 1985. As an amateur, he won bronze medals at the 1978 Commonwealth Games and the 1980 Summer Olympics, both in the flyweight division, and was also a prominent member of the British Boxing Board of Control, ladies and gentlemen, who many of you will have seen at all the fights, rising to very, very high positions within the British Boxing Board of Control, holding very high positions. And also, ladies and gentlemen, if we could just say here, could you please all be upstanding now as we pay our final salute with the prestigious and very poignant 10 bells for Mr. Hugh Russell. Thank you.
Debuile do Hugh Russell a cailach in agus bhí Philip Sutcliffe a gine caint Hugh níos slú agus leis tírí mista
Thank you for your respect tonight.
Agus
Really
Eric,
appreciate
you were
that.
Mitch telling us about
Yeah,
Conor
so-
Quinn.
Yeah, just going back to that kind of bizarre beginning to Conor Quinn's professional career, because when he moved back in 2020 due to COVID, he signed up with Mark Dunlop and he got a brain scan for his Irish license. And what was revealed in the brain scan was a previous stroke that was completely unbeknownst to Conor Quinn, and obviously he needed to address that, and lucky enough they were able to fix that. The stroke was due to a hole in his heart, and he had surgery in May 2021 to fix this. He's got it all sorted out. He's back, he's in the business, and he has 7 wins, 4 of those wins coming by way of knockout, and just 1 draw on his defeat. And this is his biggest fight to date. He's fighting for the vacant Commonwealth silver title against another very, very good opponent in Chris the Spark Liddell, who has a very interesting story himself. A very good amateur, great amateur career, turned professional in 2014. Had a quick win in his debut and then lost to a prospect, a rising prospect, and he walked away from the sport to set up his own business. He has an electrician company, and then that was in 2014, and in 2022 he decided to come back to the sport, and he's had 4 quick wins on the bounce, and he's beat a couple of prospects and title challengers. So he's riding the crest of a wave right now at the moment, and this is without a doubt his biggest fight today too. So we're well poised here for a great encounter.
Well, slú a ciún godísa chomá agus iad hénig agus na dornálthe I gíre an tritsa a hóis agus Quinn Doran Cléú sáte geisteach snasnícha agus níos báut an builean áde ó Quinn an magnificent mar léin si there agus builean áde an spiocht díra in asna bhige agus a dinne díartrééis ráling a gapanse go gríoch nófar an báta srí. Nadir has anna bhainínach Quinn a lára fáine agus anna neart a Doran Cléis na Quinn buil an áide das a clé das as íoch go tapig sa se ná na builí a lega agus éalú
Liddell has a very good tight defence, but that was a brilliant body shot, dropped down below by Conor Quinn, and it's some really nice action here. Good onslaught from Conor Quinn. He's he's a really nice fighter. He's got a nice style, got a nice way, just the way he throws his shots. I like watching him. He's got a really good fighting style.
Se go gasisiún meachchan ó na cosaisteach na dor an íochar sin a roi stelle ó Quinn. Agus is tí go sin an na glúine a úsáid chun na héine chu suas nó sias.
Excellent boxing from Conor Quinn at close quarters. He's in the pocket here now, and this is the danger zone. So, but he's looking so comfortable in there. To be in there, it's like, you know, that's a place that can be very chaotic, but he's, as we say, calm in the chaos, which shows massive maturity and a good level of intelligence and mental ability and strength from him.
Mascon dasta bhfuil a chahabh chomá cean idir William Noir the jab. 10 seconds le dul.
Just look how he's in the danger zone here, and he's just moving his head off the line and making Liddell miss with his shot. Fantastic opening round. He settled into this so well.
And the
Great
variations of shots there. He was in uppercuts, he was jabs, he was timing it well.
Yeah, he's reading. He already has a read of Liddell. He can see exactly what Liddell is offering. And what proves that is that he's in that pocket right in front of his face and not worried, not scared, not nervous, and he's just moving his head off the line left to right, making Liddell miss, and he's landing, as you said there, landing those shots, those hooks, whipping them into the body, and then finishing with uppercuts to the head as well. It's brilliant boxing. His coach Dee Walsh, has got to be very happy with that start.
A nice weight distribution as well, from using the heels to get power, generate power.
Yeah, body shift, you know, body mass. He's just switching it from left to right. Again, I was so impressed with him at the Fela card and the undercard of Padraig McCrory's title fight, and I'm equally as impressed now. He's just improving all the time. And I know that that's only 3 minutes we've seen of him, but it was 3 very, very good minutes.
Liddell tusnú go maithe sa tús an tarn na bhálta.
A little bit more intent about Liddell now. He's just edging forward with, just a little bit more energy and intent. But
Fechan Fragra ó Quinn.
he's still being picked off by the quick counter punching from Quinn. Yeah.
Siachar Quinn, Gira Haney and Ho Biog gur féad leis. Mar bheith springall of le praba dro Liddell. Doran Clay. Íslín sé héna chum a ríist. Iachar sin ó Quinn. Chusant bhaige chum an na láb a músáid go deasaige. Ní féad Liddell. Darnaí I'm sure. Defending well.
Yeah. He's a very good fighter. He's so unassuming as well. If you look at him, you would never think he's a fighter. When he gets into the ring, he just changes. So he's looking for the openings there. Yeah, like so. You have Liddell there just punching for the sake of punching, but Conor is just looking as soon as he opens the door. And what I mean by that is as soon as he lifts his elbow away from his rib cage, Conor is just attacking it with short uppercuts to the body and then up to the head as well. It's a good fight though. It's a really good fight.
Agus Liddell dim go mas about sa stopachar le Quinn. Ach ní éon aglar Quinn a bheith sa lár. We mentioned that danger zone, and both fighters are happy to be in it at the moment.
Yeah. This is what you call a close quarters, close quarters fight. You know, there's no stepping back from either boxer, which is, it's a testament to both of them. They're just going like straight for it, like, you know. But I think Conor is just that little bit more clever and defensively sound in that pocket.
Agus gan áras a siad Brian son an vacant Commonwealth Silver Flyweight title, agus an vacant British Boxing Board of Control Celtic Flyweight title. Sin Catá fáil don té a bhuan an Brian sa.
Much better round from Liddell though. He is having a lot of success in this round too, even though there's a lot of punches being blocked. He's finding the target as well, and a lot more success in this round than he had in the first round.
Just seconded up. As in vertical cow. Darren Lekete. Very enjoyable round.
Yeah, it's warming up. It's really starting to set. There's a nice kind of a marinated kind of a feel to it now. So it's brewing lovely, and they're a good kind of matchup for each other. Sometimes when you get a main event, it might take a while to warm into the fight, but these guys went straight to it from the first bell, and it's a great thing. And I've been impressed with Conor Quinn, and I tell you, another person that's been impressed with him, Sonny Edwards, the world champion from Britain, who is a massive, undisputed world flyweight title coming up against Bam Bam Rodriguez, and that's in December. And they like Conor Quinn so much that they've drafted him into their camp for sparring. So that tells you a lot about Conor Quinn. Has he got a slight nick? No, I thought he's a little swelling, I think, on his left eye. I thought it was a nick, but it's not. A little swelling on his eye, but it's not too bad. But anyway, yeah, like I said, he's in the camp over there with Sonny Edwards, so he's got massive confidence from that. Can you imagine a world champion is looking for you to spar with you? So that says a lot about his ability.
Every shot looks as though it has a purpose.
It does, and like because they're flyweights as well, they wouldn't be the biggest punchers, but you can actually see, boxing skill at the highest level here. There's a great showcase going on here of defensive work, head movement, footwork, and power punches. And to be fair to Liddell as well, he's given as good as he's getting. There's a full repertoire of punches going in here from both boxers. It's a very exciting fight.
Will you over initial Quinn?
Excellent uppercut from Conor Quinn.
And William Nordia give you on the vada on éfachtach. Uppercut a Rui Stelle. He's getting great success with the uppercut.
Yeah, the uppercut. So you can't miss that uppercut straight up the middle every time.
Yes, nice na. Kendan you feel on custom to command. He's finna. It's gone trecha.
He just keeps coming forward, Liddell, you know, and even though there is plenty of these punches going in from Conor Quinn, they're not having the desired effect that he'd want to have for his boxer to retreat. He keeps coming forward, and he's having success. This is brilliant stuff.
Count le count, Aiden le Aiden, as in vertical. A cur gachra the stach, snap willy. Need puin kushich da eschken again. Anne, Gornalia, Holkongrach da hele. On vertical. Not much footwork, Eric.
No, this is brilliant. I tell you, both of these guys are going to have sore ribs in the morning, but it's so entertaining, it's so exciting, and it's great to watch. And you know, we have to congratulate Chris Liddell as well. The man only got married last month, and he's postponed his honeymoon because of this fight. It's a big, important fight to him. As I said, he had a very good amateur career many years ago and decided to come back with goals and ambition to really, he believes he can get something out of this sport, and he's trained very hard for this, but so is Conor Quinn. So
Quinn Igiro Brianover, Bullock, Liddell, agus Shin, Bauta, Ledar, agus. Both fighters now trying to direct their attention on body shots.
Yeah, well look, I mean, they're working at a serious pace as well. Just before Liddell sat down there, he just took a big gasp of air. Now he is 31 years old, and Quinn is 25 and looks the younger and fresher. I just wonder what the pace will be like for Liddell, because there's no doubt about it that, like, even though he's been in with good opposition before, you know, in 2002 he returned to the ring, and in October 22 he beat a two-time Scottish title challenger in Scott McCormack, and that was over 6 rounds. And in January he beat and a tough Namibian title challenger, Gabriel Jamba, over 8 rounds. But this is his first 10-rounder, and I'm not too sure he's been in with anyone has set a pace like Conor Quinn has. This is a very difficult pace, and we're only 3 rounds in. I just wonder, will he be able to last for the full duration of the 10?
Well, Shahun Marsha, about the cat. Verska macht er nun sie Leute bauen. Slú Liddell sauce le tús ha curthige. Leis about the so. Are you her Quinn at all? Stachs chur beruisht. Fragrama o Liddell. Clay stachs i heel fe ho. Quinn. Costant Valish and Line. William Arder reached.
This is excellent from Liddell. He just keeps coming forward. He just keeps punching. Massive credit to him. His condition is so good. Like as I said, like I just wonder if he can keep this pace up. But like so far, so good from him. And he's having the best part of this round so far.
Gil Lloyd again. Homak Kenham an chud William Arder curha in the show. Quinn a Hanish Liddell third for Bullock. Agus Chris Quinn, County as a Quinn. Jessica Liddell and so Quinn Hainig a trech of beginning. Fragra Maho Quinn.
It's just relentless. It's relentless from both fighters. And oh my God! And what a response! The first half of this fight has been all Liddell. But Conor Quinn seems to have woken up and landed a great combination there.
Níl ein spéise ceachtar go puin bog a timppó dhéanamh. Níl watha ach a bheith arc le chéile. And neither of them want to move around the ring there.
No, they didn't have very far to go looking for each other, did they? But it's Liddell's best round so far. Like, even though he's been there in every round, I just think he's having more of he's getting more success out in this round. And it's not that the punches are very hard punches, it's just the high volume, the onslaught. He just keeps punching non-stop.
Truck a second Liddell. Conor Quinn put him Ardello. He kept out of Liddell feck again there lachoish. A chef os na has of Quinn a chef out Nís Lloydre. A share Thor, a share Laurel.
You can see now that Conor is landing one to every Liddell's 4, but the one that Conor Quinn is landing is a significant punch. It's one that is doing a good bit of damage.
The second Liddell Twert Fe Das played Chanello Quinn.
Wow. Liddell threw about 200 punches in that round. I'd say Conor Quinn might have only thrown a quarter of that, but his punches were very significant shots. And as I said, Liddell at 31 years of age, if he's operating at that late, I can't see him holding that pace for the full fight. We're not even at the halfway point yet.
And I think he's got a little cut under his right eye.
Has he?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, so that one. Well, if it's under the eye, it's not too bad. If it's over the eye, was it under it or?
Under, I think.
Yeah, it's under. If it's under, it's not a bad position to be in.
Gus. The lack of footwork, Eric, in both fighters. It's not that I don't think they have it, but for a reason they're not utilising it.
Yeah, but it's not. It's just that they're not that style of fighter. There is plenty of footwork going on, but it's not on the back foot. It's not like they're moving around the ring. They're fighting at close quarters. This is close distance fighting, but there is a lot of upper body. They're more upper body movers as opposed to lower body movers. But there is plenty of the feet are moving. They're moving all the time, but they're not. These guys are not long distance fighters or long distance boxers. They're close distance fighters.
Gani smó boga eiscint go níos sí de trecha agus á Quinn. Dinne van bhart Barney imsú Ach Liddell a rúis dá ragart an bhertsa iad fós a cahavna óhábh dro chéile. Quinn sásta ghlacha leis bhuiile a chéachar sin mar bhuiile an airde.
A brilliant left uppercut landed by Quinn there a minute ago. Kind of shook Liddell. He just keeps coming back.
Oh, trí hí na sa chéile isteach san aig. The bhrá Liddell a sin. Liddell shrinking a bit after those 3 hits.
Yeah, there's some big ones going in now. There you go. And again.
Agus a gairí le Quinnish hendo trí a dhéanamh
You
about the
see,
Derek.
sorry,
No.
Kuhn, it's just like that. Liddell is almost predictable in his that he just keeps coming and doing the same thing over and over and over. And then every now and then you'll have a piece of brilliance from Quinn. He'll just move his head or he'll slip and he'll throw a punch, a same time punch or a counter punch. And them ones seem to be having more of an effect and an impact on Liddell.
Slayer son agus Quinn. A fnacht aiach hendo eile agus ha sé á tóis. Caithfinn le dul ar núnsaí agus cínú Liddell a bhfuil aiach sin a rois trí chin leach aige ar aig Liddell agus níos ná sé tuair féin corpus stocha. Fós tuair féin aig. Slayer go gredan Quinn go bheith seo an áit feargar féad leis. No, Bully Landal Liddell. Liddell fós a tacht an ash.
Liddell is kind of switching his attack to the body now. He realises that he's not really having much success up at the head, but to be fair, he's getting caught a lot more now and far too frequent. Quinn is starting to find the target, and I just think the power might be going out of Liddell's punches now as well, so he certainly must be feeling the pace. And honestly, I can't blame him because he's after setting some pace. We're into round 5 now, and he's fighting at one hell of a pace right from the start.
Sean Spade, Quinn and so Liddell fá go oscail te. Agus bhíochar an foiile sile féasú Liddell.
He's got a pretty nasty cut under his eye there, and I did say that you know, if you did have a preference to get a cut on your eye, you would choose to get it under your eye as opposed to over it. But there's a hell of a lot of blood coming out of it too, so it can be a distracting thing too. But that was Conor Quinn's best round.
And we saw him up to date hitting one strong shot, but there he managed to get 1, 2, 3 in.
Yeah, and I just think that his punches are starting to have a really kind of a detrimental impact on Liddell. So like we're at the halfway point now, and I think the tide in the fight is changing. I just see that the energy and the strength levels in Liddell is just starting to dissipate a little bit.
Corners 10 seconds.
Uh,
And that cut might have an effect as well on him.
Yeah, it will, and it'll also it'll also
Right side.
spur on Quinn. It'll give him a bit more momentum and encouragement, knowing that Liddell is sporting those injuries.
Quinn can díriú isteach ar an buile san chomach ceann a rís buile an airde úsáid aige. Liddell den go más isteach sa chorpó Quinn. A fioch ar Quinn.
You have to admire. You just have to admire the resilience and the determination from Liddell. But as I said to you, he's kind of one-dimensional. He comes just throwing us, he becomes predictable, and then, as I said, Conor Quinn is just opening him up, penetrating his defence, and you can see his head being smashed back every time Quinn lands a shot. Liddell's head goes flying back, and when Liddell throws his punches, Quinn's head is not really moving off the line at all. So.
Quinn a gwacail yn y bwli ni swar fioch o riste an fragra haige an wap a clés yn dyn fan i fael the Liddell go mach an bautas a fioch ar sin a roi stelle o Quinn stach sa chorp a bautas a Peve Keen stach sa volog o Quinn. Sra Willie Catedro Liddell Quinn Cownelle Idar Clark Ruish Lenny Kele Willie annoyed a Ruish in the video on Nishon Stasson Snecha Mascon Via on the side Agus Liddell Full Shille you know Macho Da have Daig Quinn Das
This is brilliant. The fans are they're definitely getting their money's worth here. Like, this is a brilliant fight. It's high octane stuff. But to be fair, what a great matchup. You know, what a great matchup. What a great effort from two fighters. There's a little bit more technical skill coming from Conor Quinn, but the sheer determination and resilience and onslaught after onslaught of punching from Liddell is just something to really admire. It's admirable stuff.
Agus an vertical force a gaimsiú Quinn a trecha agus fragra ó Liddell a roi stelle hashe force na hasaf hashe force leanú de roi sheer leis ó Quinn. You said it was admirable from Liddell, and he's still hanging in there.
He is. And
he's still going after Quinn.
He is, but his left eye is starting to close up now. I know the blood is gone. They've done a really good job in the corner with the blood flow, and they seem to stop the blood flow and streaming down his face, which can be a nuisance and a distraction. But his eye seems to be swelling up, and that's not a good sign. His left eye is closing up, and things are just going to start to get a little bit more difficult from here on in.
And then what do? Do you go into your shell, or do you come a bit more wild with your shot? You try?
I think he only has one. Like, he's not a fighter, as you can see already after 6 rounds, that has a lot of different variables to his style. He hasn't got a multiple style, boxing output. He just has the one, and that's close quarters, non-stop punching, and hope for the best. So I can't see him changing now.
Schuin bout the shaft.
I think he's just proved my point. He just has come straight away back to work, back to business as usual for Liddell.
Quinn gira bug a timp ní smó bouta sa. Liddell gira harach isteach ó cónglach das go féid leis.
It can be quite hard to read Conor Quinn's face. He sometimes looks like he's just going for a walk to the shop, but he's a hard guy to read, but just he looks to me that he's the fresher of the two. And I saw the two of them when they walked back to the corner after the last round. He looked very fresh, Quinn, and Liddell looks to be under a little bit of pressure, I'd say, with the fitness levels.
Quinn agus an obergent geráig Liddell Liddell fós na hasav agus é fós a trid Goma ó Quinn.
Just the spark in his punches is not the same, the spark in Conor Quinn's punches is there to see. It's very evident.
Bwile stach a snecha Liddell stach cheannach Liddell gear the larker higher clickéile. Oh, yachar shin ó Quinn leis an nasóg.
And that landed right on the eye as well, right on that left eye, so it's not doing any favours for Liddell's vision. And again,
and Sulson a gat the sagak. Stasachor. Oh, and yes, ó Quinn. Agus cosint Liddell nish. A tep is Deshe Quinn Bader. Harach leis begonin.
And there's some big shots going in from Quinn there now. He's starting to break down Liddell systematically. Yeah, it's just very.
Liddell la chuis a Quinn in the rope. How Quinn a curfe. Agus Derhin Gurbe Shin. Shane agus Andre George Trishoyle Quinn Emma agus Toshi the Coirv Shay Shah Halidena Hassov agus Nether and Raitor Rogucha Carkilor Nive Gavad Quinn and so Quinn at Torpe Lidella Rage Lidella Machir Hasha Sahuina Halana Omet led also about Agshias Lidell Agus Buitor Se Shachtu Bauta Agus Buitor than Commonwealth Silver flyweight titles and British Boxing Board of Control Celtic flyweight title non-magnificent Conor Quinn.
That was magnificent. I have to, like, look, massive credit to Conor Quinn for getting rid of Liddell like that in absolute style. It was absolutely a clinical finish, and that's what I talked about, the killer instinct. When he saw an opportunity, when he saw the door opening, when he saw a little small piece of retreat from Liddell, he jumped all over it. But hey, you have to take your hat off to Liddell. What an absolute effort from him too. It takes two to tango, and they put on a clinic.
Some of the fights we saw today, we were saying some people didn't come to fight, some people came to survive. Both came to fight in that particular fight, and Quinn in that round started to use a bit more footwork, move Liddell around a bit. Liddell tired, and then he just said, that killer instinct, he has it.
Yeah, I was just saying to you there, Kuhn, there, coming into this round, that Liddell looked to be the pressure, the fitness levels looked to be getting to him. His energy levels are falling a bit. His eye was closing, and I could just see he seemed to be under a little bit of pressure. He was losing that spark. He was doing, like, oh my God, he put some energy into that fight. He probably could have pulled back a little bit and paced himself a little bit better throughout the fight. Maybe a little bit of inexperience. He kind of went too gung-ho from the start, and his years then as well, being 31 and so long out of game too. He was out of game for a long time. But I tell you, he can have absolute no shame at all. He put in a great performance there and went out on his shield. He really did go out on his shield. But he can be proud of the effort he put up for the length of the fight and how long it lasts. He can keep his head up, held very high. But all the credit here tonight goes to the magnificent Conor Quinn on a sensational performance.
Very impressive, wasn't it, in the sense that he wasn't afraid to go toe-to-toe, head-to-head. He kept at him, and the different variations of shots. And as you said, it was hard to judge his demeanour. Was he pressurised ever or not? He just kept going.
Yeah, he looked comfortable in there. As I said, like, you know, he was calm in that chaos, you know what I mean? And that's in the...
That's what you strive for, isn't it?
Yeah, and like, you know, you can't teach that, Kuhn. You know, you can't.
And that was a bit of a dogfight, wasn't it? Like all those hits, and then they were literally head to head.
Yeah.
And he didn't stand back.
Yeah, but like, you have to remember though, like, even though it looked like it was it looked like a barnstormer at times, but while he was in the pocket, Conor Quinn, he was able to navigate the big shots. He was able to ride the punches, block them, slip them, lean back, drop the knees, crouch, slip, and it's almost like he was just doing a merry dance in there, like, you know. And this was also breaking Liddell's heart, because Liddell is putting every single thing into every punch, and a lot of these punches are just hitting arms, gloves, and while this is happening, your energy is sapping, and it's just a very cute level, and I think he's a very intelligent boxer. Extremely intelligent, Conor Quinn, and one to certainly look out for. Mark Dunlop has a good one on his hands there now.
In your last fight, it was his first fight back. It ended on a draw. Everybody was in shock that night. Look at the way he's come back from that particular event.
Oh, he's bounced back. I think that fight that he had on my card was a draw. He was upset about that. He was disappointed. But you know what it done? It taught him that he needs to not be allowing these fights, allowing these opponents to have momentum in the fight. So he learned a lot from that.
2 minutes, 50 seconds of round 7 by referee Mr. Ron Keary from Sunderland, has stopped the contest by a technical knockout in favor tonight of the winner from Belfast, and you can Commonwealth Summer Flyweight title and vacant British Boxing Board of Control Celtic Flyweight title, the magnificent Conor Quinn!
An búirteoir trónónas an dá Chris áilte in éis agus onwards and upwards, Eric. So,
Onwards
where's
and
he going?
upwards. Yeah, that's his first title, and I think he can go. I think he can go very far in the game. You know.
And the first being presented, ladies and gentlemen,
I really think he
by
can go
Mr.
very,
John
very far
Williamson,
in the
the
game.
Finnish Boxing Board of Control and Supervisor for the Commonwealth Boxing Council, Ms. Debbie Downs. Thank you.
Agus Conor Quinlan, Mark Dunlop and son, agus Tauchi, Bria Osachord on Dornali, so agus Sheisha on Tochtu Bua Hage, his 8th win, and
Yeah, it's only his 8th win, and already he's shown superstar potential. He really is, and they're great supporters up here in the north of Ireland. They're brilliant for getting behind their fighters. Brilliant that some brilliant boxers have come from this city, and it's a very, I think, a poignant and apt maybe coincidence that he's a flyweight as well, and we said goodbye to one of Ireland's greatest flyweights in Hugh Russell tonight, and we paid tribute to him here with the 10 bells, and he got a great acknowledgement from the boxing community here. And we are seeing a new flyweight star in Belfast boxing in Conor Quinn.
Asha Rocha Gamaga, Derek Dillman, well, Marsha, Shin, winning so on Mel Fairster, Dornali, Yoma, Mila Buick, Conrad, August Darna, Trey Jabu, the other boy missing the camera. Kahani, here's the performance come up. Oh, Eric Ismahain, Kidi, Kedorada, Turada, August, Bigama.